folks are born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, the red, white, and green. And when the band plays Kaiser hymn, ooh, they draft you for the war machine. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't Prince Ferdinand's son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no aristocratic one, no.
Alright, folks, we are back. Text of the Black Pants Legion, but you knew that. Last time around, we found out our battle cruisers were insufficient. I pledged death to England, and they have started to retaliate in terms of actually, making this a little bit of a challenge. Now, they've brought their fleet out here, which is nice. I don't want to send in the battlecruiser fleet because it's expensive. And that is an unfortunate fact. It is very expensive. My cruisers, my battle cruisers, I should say, I do need to get rid of, mainly because they're just not going to be effective versus the enemy battle fleet. They're really good for global response. The wide toms, one of them got sank, which was absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic that they got sunk, but that happens. A submarine snuck through and put a torpedo in it, and that's believable. I'm not gonna get furious at that I couldn't fight that battle or whatever. That's absolutely believable. This happens a lot in military history. Just a few torpedoes does things, and for the Austro-Hungarian Navy, their biggest moment, Sainest von sinking, is kind of a representation of that in microcosm. So what we're going to do is continue to try to fight England as best I can while I wait for my new battleships. My new battleships, I'm going to put a little bit further out in the Atlantic. I may decide to go over and steal some more of their territory because I can. And I think that will force them to surrender. They may win a few naval battles here and there, but I'm not really concerned about it. All I need to do is keep my unrest high enough, or low enough rather, and there we go. Okay, we have a destroyer group versus a battleship and some other stuff. Mind you, his battleships are absolutely terrifying. They're really well built, they're very well armored, they have excellent compartmentalization, they have excellent damage control. They have this amazing ability to shrug off damage versus especially my battlecruiser fleet and against multiple torpedoes. So what I'm going to do is, even though he has all the advantages here, I'm going to try to sneak up on this motherfucker and get as many torpedoes in him as possible. Because even if I lose, I can ensure he also loses. That is exactly what I need right now, is I need this guy to lose as much as I do. I need him to eat nothing but torps, and I need to make sure that he doesn't see me. Now, mind you, he is about, looks like about 20 clicks away, and my torps will reach 12. Now, I don't want to shoot at 12. I want to shoot at far shorter than that, just to give him less time to react. And over time, as we develop better torpedoes, I may elect to shoot faster torpedoes. I may decide to start carrying faster torpedoes, which of course do sacrifice the range, and that's more than fine. I just need to make sure that he has less chance to do damage. Now, as you can see, he's fired into my squadron. I did take one small hit, looks like. And that's fine. His little torpedo boats are definitely being difficult here. And I'm trying to steer my squadron around them. Looks like I may take a few torps into this squadron, and that's fine. He, however, is going to suffer for it. And then I need to put some torps into the big boy. This is going to be a bit of a taffy moment. I've already had some torps hit my boys, and that is a problem. That's fine. His torpedo boats have largely been driven off, if not damaged. Mine have taken a sure beating, and we are marching into increasingly bad torpedo range. So here we go. We're going to do aggressive, and we're going to put everything on that fucker right there. And we are actually normal. There we go. And my guy's objective is going to be to torpedo that son of a bitch. Now, we are well within our torpedo range. He is broadside to us, and we're going to just start firing spreads like crazy. However, I'm going to have to navigate a bullet hell worth of torpedoes in order to make this happen. And that's fine, so is he. He's gonna now start seeing these approach, which is bad for him, because boom, he took 3. Excellent. Firing more. All I need to do is sink this guy, and that's good enough for me. Okay, there's 4 torpedo hits into him. Let's see if these also strike him. Another few hit. Good, good, good. Let's do this damage, boys. Oh, yes, the magazine detonation right there. Excellent. So this is where I win. All I need to do is sink that son of a bitch right there. And then I can just, yeah, let's go ahead and retreat full speed. I've done my job. Time to get out of here, boys. Retreat and smonk. Let's leave. I'm going to lose a few of these destroyers, and that's okay. That is more than okay. We're just going to get out of here as best we can, even though a lot of our ships are very badly damaged. And we're just going to leave. He's going to pay for it. He's going to shoot some torpedoes to cover his escape, looks like, and that's fine. A few of those may connect, and I'm not terribly worried in that. But we're going to form up and get the fuck out of here. And, yeah, we'll leave him to his own devices. I have accomplished my objective. He does not have all the battleships in the world, but he certainly has more than I do at this point. The battle cruisers, again, I'm going to use to support invasions, because while I am every bit certain they would do really well against his cruiser fleet, they are not going to do well against the rest of his fleet. They are going to... his battleships would just wreck them. My battle cruisers are a bit light, so that's why I'm going to move into heavier boats, as everyone else has certainly started to do that, and I didn't get the memo. I'm going to detach this, and I'm going to just tell my destroyers to get the fuck out of here at best speed, and we're just going to leave. We're going to leave as best possible with all of our boats. Well, all the boats we can, naturally. We do have some that are just damaged, and that's fine. They will spend some time in repair, if not be scuttled, to prevent their use from the enemy, from unlocking my my shooting boating design, which I don't want them to do. But yeah, we're just gonna leave the area now that we've done our job, and we're gonna be cool guys about it. We're just gonna hit and run. And that is my main objective, is to hit and run versus the enemy and to make their life a living hell. Now, he has actually continually found, bracketed, and struck my guys at range, which means he has really good rangefinders. He has excellent crews, and he has really decent guns and gunnery. So I'm learning a lot about Britain here. I'm learning a lot about the Royal Navy's composition and what they can do. But I can slowly retreat under the cover of smoke, having struck. And I just knocked one of his battleships out of the fight, which is good because that removes his blockading power, which is always going to be a problem for me. I'm going to continue to bully this man. I'm going to try to take his territory. And I have to keep in mind, he is trying to counterattack on land in Australia, and he has a massive land army. So I need to make sure that I am staying a step ahead of him and that I'm out-conquering him, because he can't be everywhere at once, and I can afford to concentrate my forces. Ah, yes. All right, excellent. Japan tried to do something, and I didn't care for it. I was like, who cares? And that probably made them very upset. So let's look at our fleet, where we are. We have a bunch of the shooting boat in Manila. That is going to be my backup, essentially, if he decides to do anything. If Japan decides to weigh in on this. Now, this land army is going to make a hell of a land move here, because he has 1.3 million dudes, and I have 36,000 dudes. So, yeah, he's going to definitely march. However, the problem is he's doing it across... Oof. Yeah, he's doing it across the outback, so he's gonna probably just lose dudes from that. I, however, have most of his stations here. And while Britain is definitely making inroads into gobbling up what's left of Spain, he's going to find this to be a bit more difficult than he thinks. So let's see, Hollandia. I have a few more of these things out here, which is nice. I'm going to need to get these boats that are not damaged to rejoin my formation down here. Because, yes, only one is being repaired. That'll save up some dockyard space. I know that they beat up Wide Tom a little bit, and that's fine. She's the biggest ship, and she's the only big ship I have left until I get these Austerity class and the Successor class ships. Soon as I free up the dockyard from the Austerity class, no, fight to the end. Soon as I free up the dockyard from the Austerity class, oh man, they sank some of my allies' ships. That sucks, but that's fine, because they're not mine. I know that sounds a bit terrible, but they're not mine. Oh shit, North Dakota's here, but look how old that is. That's a battleship, 7,900 tons. America's really fallen behind. That's not so good. But yeah, we've got plenty of firepower here. I'm gonna move my destroyer fleet back into the water, the shooting boatin'. I will retire these, of course, once the war is done, by probably shipping them all to Manila, which is where they can do their best. But yeah, we're very much looking like we're going to clean the clock and do this naval invasion really well, which is good. This is absolutely good. I think this is going to be fantastic. So yeah, excellent. Well done us. However, England is really starting to march on me here, so certainly a challenge, to say the least. However, I'm building my budget up, which is nice, and I'm continuing to sink his transports, just absolutely relentlessly, which is also nice. Oh god, he's got a submarine coming out for me, which is always a problem. Yep, they're sinking my transports with submarines. However, I'm sinking his transports with battle cruisers, so ha. I will absolutely do my part, though. We got Western Australia now. Excellent. So let's move our giant battle cruiser fleet down here to Melbourne and see if we can't take it. I know that the Australians are probably going to get very mad that I'm doing this, but it's okay. I will be a benevolent ruler. I promise not to be too terribly cruel versus your people. I promise that there will be plenty of shrimp on the Barbie. Some of you are not going to like that I said that. I know Australians, I can't tell if they're mad or happy, because they use the same language in both manners. So it's a wonderful culture. Full of shit posting. Alright, so, slowly getting there, slowly getting our shit to where it should be. I'm hoping to get better diesel engines and, yes, much better submarine hulls. Because mine layer subs are fun and all, but I would rather have, like, really decent submarines and torpedoes that run for more than 8 feet. I'm really looking for some decent things. Now, exportin' boatin' is going to be our next big boy. And we are getting, God, let's see. Yep, we have one guy repairing in what looks like a neutral port. I hope they don't inter him. Wide Tom's fine in Belfast. Shootin' boatin' here has a low crew because they got massacred. And it looks like in 1 month we will be done with the Austerity class, which is kind of like a baby Nelson, more or less, but poorer designed, because the Nelson is actually a really good ship class design. For the limitations of it and overcoming the limitations over it, it's a really decent combination. Oh, they sued for peace. Oh, wow, did they sue for peace. Minor victory. So I want... let's see. I want Gibraltar and the Azores and the Falkland Islands, and I want, yeah, that's it. All they gave me was the Falkland Islands and the rest in cash. All right, fine. So I sued for peace until they broke, and that's fine. I will now move the shootin' boatin' into Belfast, where they will be probably retired. I will probably just cut them apart. It looks like My army is trying to move into Serbia, which, great. Now I'm going to have to fight the Russians. So, I didn't take Melbourne, which is annoying, but that's okay. I'm going to retire my battlecruiser fleet and rebuild a lot of my fleet accordingly. The battlecruiser fleet served its purpose in being able to just invade everything and net territory gains. Absolutely net territory gains, so huzzah. Looks like I can move these 4 guys, probably going to move them up to Pula. Or Spalato. Yeah, that's where I'll probably put them. And then the Manila fleet, I'm going to replace all of you guys with subs. They don't know it yet, but it's definitely going to be there. They're like, hey, we just sent out this war. Do we get medals? And I'm like, no, you can get new jobs. And then I just throw a medal at them and they have to leave. Submarines are going to be my bread and butter, at least for small fleet engagements. I'm going to probably build a few hundred of them. And then eventually I will build a few small, very elite torpedo boat squadrons, or rather destroyer squadrons, once I get my better stuff. And excellent submarines, depth charges type 5. Excellent, excellent, excellent. There we go. So let's get into, yeah, I'm fine with the tech where it's at. I know that as soon as we get into better rangefinders, ooh, radar rangefinders, hell yes. Let me remove these from the submarine bit. Let's get into radar rangefinders, because that sounds like a great way to ruin history. Alright, so I've added an additional 4 exportant boat into my build list, with these guys being built in Odessa, these guys are being built in Croatia. I'm now, well, okay, 3 months till the austerity boats are done. I'm going to take the shooting boating fleet, which is being worked on. I'm going to scrap the shit out of them. Wide Tom is going to get a refit, and Habsburg's going to get a refit. And all of these battlecruisers are going to get scrapped. Some of you are going to say, but why? Why is the Habsburg getting a refit? And I'm going to say, because I said so. It is a majestic battleship, and I won't have people say mean things about it. It's such a majestic battleship. It's a ship. And shut up. So let's get rid of our battlecruisers here, because while they did serve their purpose for naval invasion control, they were not good enough to overcome an enemy fleet, and I realized that made them a little bit small, a little bit weakly armored, and that's fine. That's fine. You learn by doing. So there we go. And look, we're positive now. We're at positive money. You move to Perth, where you will be cut up into razor blades. Now, we have 2 months until the austerity classes are done. Wide Tom's going to need a refit, and Habsburg's definitely going to need a refit. I'm going to wait until I get radar rangefinders. Once I get radar rangefinders, it's on like Donkey Kong. The enemy is going to go, oh shit, and I'm going to say, yes. Oh shit, indeed. That is when you get the big fuck-ups. Now, I'm starting to get into fancier 9-inch guns. That's quite nice. What are we getting into explosive-wise? Torpedo contact exploders, those are all right. I mean, we're getting into better tech across the board, which is fine. We're starting to get into advanced bulkhead protection, which is really, really neat. We're a little bit behind on some of these things, which is okay. It's okay. We are definitely stressing our shipyard capacity, which is not okay. But we'll get over it. Now, I'm going to put Wide Tom probably on its own, and I'm going to put it in my battleship fleet and have it roll out with the rest of the battleships. I don't know. I might keep it in Belfast just to threaten the British, because they're going to say, why is that giant thing there? And I'll say, because it's there. And if they dislike it, they can win wars. And I think that's reasonable. If you didn't like that, you could have won the war. And if you don't like winning wars, you should just tell your people that war winning is not for me, and I would like to retire as the head of my navy. Please and thank you. All right, so it still says it's obsolete, which is hilarious. I'm again gonna wait until radar, because I'm gonna put radar on it, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. There will be radar on this ship from the 1890s. Why not? Now, some of you will point out that onboard shipboard power plants are incapable of generating sufficient power for radar sets and many other things. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll just do what modern navies do with IFEP power plants, which is just add in big old fucking generators on the deck and wire everything together into a bird's nest of terror. It looks like Britain is still fighting Spain, which is bizarre to me. I know that my active fleet is relatively small at the moment. I don't care. I think that the enemy may size me up in the meantime and go, well, I could take him. And that's where they're wrong, because I will beat the shit out of them. I will mass produce submarines or do something else equivalently stupid and just start crushing these guys. Our economy is doing really well. We have $10 billion in just spare money laying around, and we're making $100 million a turn. So the Austro-Hungarian Empire, wide may it reign. Wide Austro-Hungary. All right, so let's see. The Reich and the United States are fighting. We got better diesel engines now, which is great, and the engines are more expensive than ever, which is not great, but it does allow them to be lighter. Lighter engines better. Definitely an improvement. I'm also starting to get into improved armor belts and everything else, which is bonkers. And I'm going to start getting into destroyers that are like pretty fairly modern in terms of displacement. So I'm excited. Once I got radar and this new armor slope design done, I will refit my battleships. And yeah, this will be fun. And eventually I'll end up getting like turtleback armor schemes and shit, and I'll put one of those on the Habsburg, even though it's 1 billion years old. I don't care. I don't care. I know some people are just going to tear their hair out and say, Tex, this is just the dumbest thing in the world. Good. Good. Don't worry about it. Why would you worry about it? I'm not worried about it. I think I'm running my Navy just fine. Uh-oh, industrialists who are impressed by our Navy are ready to invest for the needs of the fleet. They could give me billions of dollars, but I'm going to tell them to put it into the GDP, because that is what helps me in the big time. I'm really not terribly worried. So we've got the new destroyer design, which is great. We're going to have radar rangefinders here really quick, and then better armor forging fairly quick. At that point, I can just overhaul everything. 29 months for the first set of Exportenboten, 43 months for the second set of the Exportenboten. We are quite behind on naval technology, so it says, but that is an aggregate of all technologies, at least from my observation, which means while I've specialized in some stuff and I'm ahead in it, I'm far behind in other stuff. So the game lets you kind of have a balanced approach if you want, but it does penalize you for starting to try to focus in on stuff and be ahead of it. So it's recommended, I think, for more or less, if you want to focus in on crap, focus for a year onto something very specific. And then after that, let it be general for like 3 years. And then focus a year on something very specific. Say, I want to get this new engine technology way up, and then let it be general again. That way you're constantly getting a wide variety of techs, not just the few guns things you want. Don't worry about that. Let's see. The government, yeah, sure, I will give money to world peace. It makes everyone like me a little bit. And that's fine, because right now I'm between wars and I'm slowly building up to better wars. I want to be able to, fight a bigger, crazier war. Now, I'm going to take all my ships that are at sea control. I'm going to say limited. Just sit there and we're going to do limited. And that is the longest fucking name. Kronprinzessin Erzherzogin Stephanie. So that's Crown Princess. I couldn't pronounce that second name. Yeah, wow. That is just, no. When they come up with names at the naming convention, I'd be like, look, it's like a name tag. If you have 3 names that needs to go on a boat, no. You get 1. Choose an important one. Like their actual name. Stephanie. A boat named Stephanie. Sure, that's pretty good. Crown Princess Stephanie. Yes, but no. Too many. Too many names. Unless you're the Spanish, then you can have something really classy like Santissima Trinidad. Like, that's classy. The Spanish are allowed to have 5 names, but when it comes down to anything else, no. That's just a no. All right, so we are getting to the point where we're going to unlock radar rangefinders, which is horrifying, and we're going to put them on all of our ships, which is hilarious. So we're going to do that, radar rangefinders, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. So now that we've got that done, we're going to turn this research off, let it go back to generalized research. Submarines and everything I will build as I need, but it's time to rebuild the Habsburg again. Imagine getting out of your academy, right? Your naval academy. You get out of your naval academy and you're looking for, assignment to your first ship. You're looking for your first naval assignment, and all your friends are, walking down the planks proudly to their new boats, and everyone's feeling all proud and shit. And you're all clapping each other on the back and saying like, we made it, and all those hard years of work have paid off, and now we get to go be the big boys and go fight in the war. And then all of a sudden you get your fleet assignment, little thing, and you walk down the gangplank, and this is the boat you have to serve on. And you're like, why? Why? Just why? Why this boat? And there's no real reason other than it's funny. This is now your new home for the next several years. This boat. You're just like, why? Everyone else has like torpedo boats and cruisers and everything, and imagine this just sitting in the harbor, just waiting for you. Now, mind you, this has an enormous range now because evil, and it's got very modern guns on it, even though most of them are in casemates. But yeah, it's got radar, it's got all the amenities. But yeah, just imagine getting your commission and you're like, thank God. And you throw your hat into the air when you graduate and you've got your commission, you have your sword, you have your boat cloak, it's drip or drown and you're floating, you're looking as best you can, you're in your prime. And then they're like, here's your first officer's, task. And you become like third officer on this, which should be a museum ship, but isn't. And yes, let's just go ahead and refit that and put radar on it because that's funny. All right, there we go. Now, the austerity class is going to be refit next, but I need to wait until Habsburg's out, and then I need to put Wide Tom through it, and then I need to take those guys. Poti and Novosibirsk. All right, yeah, you guys are at or over capacity, more or less. I'm going to move the austerity fleet to Spalato. There we go. So that way they can all go in. Now, these ships are designed to basically just attack from the front, which is cool. Is that smart? Is that dumb? We'll see. The French thought that was smart, and some of their ships are pretty badass. The Richelieu and everything else. I mean, they designed some pretty good ships. They just never really got a chance to use them because of some miscommunications, and then the French getting their fleet dunked by the British, and some of them did end up serving on in Allied and Free French fleets, but they never really got their just due. And I think that they would be really cool ships to have seen play a part, especially if, imagine, if you will, World War II kicks off and France sends its whole combined fleet immediately into German waters. Yes, a lot of them would get massacred by air power. Yes, a lot of them would get massacred by U-boats. But imagine if they made an all-out or nothing on Wilhelmshaven. Imagine if they made an all-out or nothing on Kiel and just raided it with all of those ships and just smashed their teeth in. The combined French fleet at that time was terrifying. It was so terrifying that the British had to blow a big chunk of it up to prevent the Germans from having it. They were scared about it. It was a very large fleet and very competent. So imagine if you just put all that fleet in a big pile and right as the war starts, just said, go up the channel, have the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy at your back, and just beat the shit out of the German Navy in one day. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous. I know a lot of admirals would say that sounds like you'd lose a whole Navy. And I'd go, right, but the war would be way shorter. Without the Kriegsmarine backing them up, the German army would have to rely back on its primary means of getting things done, which is a good old land campaign. But in expending so much power, so much power early on, You would have a very diminished German Navy during the War of the Atlantic, which would absolutely wreck a lot of plans. Operation Sea Lion would never even get off the drawing board because, well, it didn't in real life, but there would be no real planning for any further invasions. You would see no attempted invasion of Norway. You'd see no attempted invasion of a lot of things. They would just say, fuck that. I mean, we got our teeth punched in. And the German Navy was not that big. It was never that big. Never had prominence or a high placement. And it's kind of one of those things where if you look at them trying to build the German Navy and build it up through the 20s and 30s, before it becomes the Kriegsmarine, you find that there are a lot of bottlenecks that they absolutely acknowledge when they're trying to build their Navy out. You find that there is an issue with canals not being deep enough. They're just saying, hey, if you want to do this, you have to dredge this canal out. You can't just say, I want turbo giant huge battleship like the German H battleship plan. The H series ships are just absolutely bonkers in their design, and yet you couldn't effectively build them because the Kaiser Wilhelm Canal was too shallow. All right, so let's rebuild this thing from the waterline because she did all right, but not all right enough. We need better boat. I think we need better boat, and I think that, you know, something that is majestic as the Wide Tom needs that sort of power behind it. There we go. So we got our engine efficiency. Let's see, main guns, centerline guns. We can do quad 14-inch guns like fore and aft. That seems cool. That seems just really cool. I'll put one more up front, and then I'll put another quad 14-inch gun behind it. So this will just be neat. Yes. Excellent. Main gun, centralized gun, and then another quad 14-inch gun. Yeah. Now, it is a little overweight, which for Wide Tom is kind of expected. So let's just do a quad front and a quad rear. Okay, aft weight offset. I can fix that. I will move you up there, and I will move you up there. Now, no, still a little bit. Some parts are badly placed. No, they're not. There we go. Nice and ridiculous. That is way too far forward, but I don't care, because I'm going to put a lot of secondaries on this. I know that that's not super heavy firepower by anyone's means, and that's okay. That's more than okay. I want this thing to be incredibly survivable, and I'm also going to put radar on it because that's amazing. And we're just going to move to cordite powder, and we're going to use all of our capabilities. Now, is this a great battleship? No. This is definitely a design born of many, many other ideas. But this could be a very cool fleet operations boat. So there we have 2 sets of torpedo tubes, and they're 23-inch torpedoes each. Some parts are badly placed. I disagree. I think this boat is beautiful. I think this boat is absolutely majestically beautiful, and I think the game is just full of haterade. Now, I'm going to put some 6-inch double or triple gun mounts here. And yeah, we're just going to... Oh, is that too heavy? Why is it sad? Oh, all right. Is that better? That's better. Okay. So we have some really heavy firepower here. This boat, no, a little bit overweight. That's fine. So we have really a decent amount of firepower. Not tremendously heavy, but decent. All these guns are nice. And I'm going to go with, let's see. Ooh, wow. That could be nice. Torpedo detection range. Okay, what do we got for torpedo speed, torpedo range, torpedo launcher's cost? Let's see. Ammo detonation chance, not always great. Greater range, which is nice. Torpedo reload time. All right, let's see. Fast. You know what? Let's do. Choices. This just does knock us on range a bit. So let's do oxygen-fueled torpedoes. Because if we're going to blow up, I want to see it from fucking orbit. Okay? I'm going to be honest. We're going to just add a little bit more. No, looks like I can't. So let's add it to the superstructure because that's funny. All right. Wide Tom's refit, now with radar. And yeah, I should have torps that are absolutely bonkers. And torpedo speed is 51 knots. So good goddamn. This is great. It has excellent engine efficiency. So this thing can just cruise the world. And I've got quadruple 17-inch guns. So amazing. I wish I could have done 3 gun turrets, but that will be on the next super battleship, which may be the even wider Tom, or the Grand Tom, or the Super Tom. There's a lot of options here, especially when you're megalomaniac building a navy, as I must put myself into that role. If you are a global empire and you're building a navy, you have to be a megalomaniac. You need to build something that is not only an example of naval architecture, but should be considered something more like classical architecture. You design something that will be an emblem for generations. And if you doubt me, go look at how the Japanese revere the Yamato. You need to build something that is bonkers, that is a celebration of your culture, your beliefs, your spirit as a nation. You need to build something insane. It needs to be as crazy as you wish to be portrayed, and it needs to echo like a thunderclap throughout history. So whenever you build ships in this game, at a certain point, yes, you will build stuff that is too big to lose and too dumb to exist, and you must build it. You must, because even if you do lose that ship, people will talk about it for 100 fucking years. They will say, my God, what a ship. We still talk about the Santissima Trinidad. That ship was insane for its era. We still talk about that. Even a flawed ship, if built on a grand enough scale, is a celebration of madness, and people always like that. All right, let's see. What do we need? Sorry, I can soapbox about ship design all day. Then again, you're listening to this, so I guess that kind of makes sense. We're getting there with quality control as well. 25 months until these are ready. It's going to be a bit because of the dockyard capacity. We've now moved almost into average technology. It says we're behind, but I saw it flip a little bit. So we're catching up. We're catching up. Now, the radar-guided Tom is going to be a great ship. The austerity class is going to need some work. It's going to need some work. There's no way around it. Just to make that a little bit better, the radar guiding is going to help. The engine upgrades will help, and those things will probably be in refit a long while. Our dockyards are absolutely stretched to capacity because we have 5 battleships. We're building 8. We're refitting 1, and yeah, we are definitely in trouble in terms of available dockyard space. But we're doing our best. And that's all you can do in these times. Naval shipbuilding is a bonkers time. It is an absolute bonkers time, and it is where things get exciting. All right, new technology in boilers. Ooh, advanced bulkhead protection. Ooh, yes, nice. Soon enough, we will have fancy things. All right, so submarine hulls. We're starting to get into ocean-going submarine 2. I'm going to hope to build a lot of better submarines, because right now I can build basically pre-World War I era submarines, not great submarines. I'm hoping to slowly build a submarine fleet that is fairly modern and fairly capable, and then I'm going to put probably 100 submarines in the water through 3 theaters. I'll have like 30 in the Caribbean, I'll have 30 in the Pacific, and I'll have 30 in Europe, and I'll probably put mine in Belfast. So as soon as a war starts, I will just send out these submarine fleets and just be an absolute ass to everyone. I will just say, get out of here. No, I'm not selling you my ships. Holland, I sold you my last ships and you just let them die because I hit auto-calc. So that's your fault. That's not my fault. You should feel bad. Double hull for submarines. Fancy. Looks like England is locked in a forever war in Spain. That's not good. I'm hoping to get my submarines set to where they'll be a little bit more effective. All right, let's get into research. Let's get into, oh boy. Yeah, we need to build far better submarines and fairly quick. It'll be 9 months to refit the Wide Tom and 22 months for the first batch of my ships to come out. Once the first batch comes out, the second batch should be fairly quickly afterward because that'll free up a lot of dockyard space. And then at that point, I should be free from building battleships for a while. Not forever, but for a while. For a while. And for this Let's Play, if I am defeated and my government collapses, I will end it. But I will end this Let's Play on 1950. I think that that's fair, and I think that that is when we can say that we have transitioned into a post-Dreadnought, post-battleship age, largely. And that way we can just judge my work as the head of the Navy at that point and see how different the world is. I think that the world is kind of interesting. You're looking at a very big and strange Austro-Hungarian empire, which has certainly lived longer than the real one did, and its holdings are huge. But we are now entering the years of soon-to-be World War II. We are entering the years of the gathering storm. And I know that this could potentially spill over again. I may have to fight Italy. I may have to fight Japan. I may have to fight many other people. I'm looking at what we have right now, and everyone seems pretty okay with me. Britain's a little sour on me, but most people think I'm okay. The Soviet Union thinks I'm great, probably because I kicked their teeth in and took some of their territory, and they have no choice. They're probably like, you're great, and I'm like, fine. I'm also laughing at the idea of a Austro-Hungarian Cyprus. This is a bit bonkers. Looks like nothing is really going on much. Britain is barely making headway into Spain. Austro-Hungarian North Ireland is great. I control half of Australia, which is fun. My army force here is only 579 guys, though, and only 295 guys here. So not the best. Certainly not the best. Yeah, my army forces are like 400 dudes, 200 dudes. I think I'm fairly stretched thin on my military forces. My garrisons are sad. My army is essentially non-existent. I think it's been absolutely horribly, heinously stretched thin between the wars. And it looks like that I'm slowly getting into the Balkans. I'm slowly taking over Serbia. But then I have Kosovo and Montenegro, and I own a little bit of it, but not enough of it. And I think that this could spill over into a larger war, because that's what the Balkans does. The Balkans is dynamite. It does this. 7 months to refit the Wide Tom, and then once I do that, my dockyards are going to be at significantly less stressed capacity. Once that happens, I bet this will take less than a year, and this will probably be closer to 2. And then I will have 8 of the exporting boats. The austerity class boats are going to be next in my dockyards in terms of trying to get them into good functional stability. And I am going to have to be very careful here because I could very easily clog these dockyards up. However, once all of these ships are done in terms of dockyard capacity. Britain and the US are fighting. Neat, none of my problems. Once these ships are done in terms of being refit and built back up, I will build a newer, bigger, crazier large fleet battleship. I will build like a Habsburg Forever or something that is just enormous, like 120,000 tons. I'm going to build it so big that every accountant in the country feels it in the same time that I do it. They just feel it like they're having an appendix burst. They just go, and they just all fall over at once and start frothing and foaming at the mouth. I want them to feel miserable knowing I built this thing. And people will say, why? And I will say, the pillar of ego demands it. Oh, Britain wants us to stop naval activities near their borders? No? All right, during naval exercise, want an engine breakdown? Let's see. I don't regard this as a serious incident. I mean, that happens. Ships break. It just happens. I'm not really worried. I mean, not a big deal. Now let's see what we're getting. Advanced hull materials. Ooh, and we're going to start getting into fancy stuff. Now, what is the biggest destroyer? Oh, 4,000 tons destroyers. These are basically cruisers, light cruisers, but cruisers nonetheless. And I think that's really sexy. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. Semi-automatic gun reloads are going to be fun. I could put those on my turbo destroyers and just use those to bully people. We are now into average technology. Ooh, look at that. And as soon as wide Tomas refit, like I said, I think we'll be fine. I just have to keep building larger ship capacity or shipbuilding capacity. I wish I could do more than the little tiny slider. I wish I could say double my shipbuilding capacity. Yes, I know it will cost all of the money. Because if you have this much money left over, you shouldn't. You should be turning all of that into shipbuilding capacity. You should be turning that into a printing press. Because if you can build that extra shipbuilding capacity, guess what? You can then build ships for the whole world. You can be the breadbasket for the whole world in terms of weapons. No, Netherlands, I don't have extra shipyard space. You can go away. You can please leave me alone, thank you. So, let's look at where we're going now. It'll be 4 months until the wide Tom is refit with radar, which is hilarious. Now, the ship is not the best ship I can make, but it is cool enough. If I wanted to be a real bastard, though, I could downsize the guns to about 14 or 15 inches and then just cover it in quad gun turrets, or I could put all 12-inch guns on there and make them auto-loaders and just try to spray shells at the enemy. There's a lot of different ways to build a ship. I once built a super capital ship in this that was basically in Atlanta, which is a wonderful light cruiser design that was run by the U.S. Navy during World War II. And it is covered in dual 5-inch gun mounts. It is just covered in them. It has shit tons of 5-inch gun mounts. And so you can create an umbrella. You can create a gravity's rainbow of shells and walk them to the enemy. And the enemy is just not doing well under that. They just go, why have you done this? And you say, I don't know. Why can't you be normal, they will ask. And you'll just shrug, because that's not your problem. Your problem is the enemy, and you've made them go away. I may have the smallest navy on paper during this time, which is fine, because most of my navy is going to be under the water. I don't mean that in terms of I'm going to sink them, but I'm going to have boats that are capable of sinking. I am definitely going to embrace submarine warfare, and I'm going to do my best to be an absolute asshole in terms of submarine warfare. I'm going to pretty much build, like I said, I think probably 90 submarines. I'll put 30 in the Caribbean, 30 in the European Theater of Operations, and I'll put 30 in the Pacific. And that will be my first wave and warning to anybody who wants to fight me. I'll just surround their island with submarine fleets, and they will constantly have to fight them. And it should be fairly miserable for them to fight that many submarines. And submarines are fairly quick to make compared to battleships. They're not the fastest thing to make nowadays because they have umpteen bajillion miles of wiring and cable and stealth stuff and nuclear reactors and all these other things that need to go in them and make them work. And that's fine. That's fine. But submarines in this era are definitely a lot of valves, pipes, and clockwork. And if you have the capability of building a battleship, you can certainly build a bunch of submarines. Submarines are very, 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 very effective. Excellent. Now I can build destroyers up to 4,000 tons. I could build a series of speedboat destroyers and use them versus the enemy, which would be hilarious. Let's see, torpedo propulsion is getting up there. I'm starting to get into much better torpedoes, and I'm a little bit behind the times in other technology, but I'm certainly ahead of the times in much of it, like armor quality. Though I will say this, other nations' battleships certainly are not to be made light of. They're quite terrifying. I think that the ships that I have fought so far have inspired a lot of terror, especially the last fights versus Britain. Germany and France are fighting again. Excellent. All right, people are fighting. Are we taking the Balkans? Barely. Wow, we've lost most of our army force here, and we barely outnumber the enemy now, so that might not happen. Good job, Austrian army. Good job. All right, so monthly balance is exceptional. It's absolutely exceptional. So I can afford to continue building battleships all day. And I've just finished the refit. So go me. I have 8 battleships being made, and I'm hoping to build the dockyard up even bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because I'm going to need to. And I'm probably going to start exploring the idea of having a light cruiser fleet. I don't need an alliance with Germany, thank you. I know that Germany wishes an alliance because it's currently entangled in a number of wars, but my empire is vast and theirs is not. It's time to now build more shipyard. And yes, we are barely under or barely over our capacity, and we are starting to get to where it'll be a year for export and boating to start rolling out. In the future, I will probably build them in 2s. I will build 2 at a time, 2 at a time, 2 at a time when it comes down to new ship classes, just because of how fucking heavy and big they are. Plus, I may need to build other ships in between. That is a problem with this game, is when you get into shipbuilding, you can say, oh, I want to build 8 dreadnoughts, and you start building 8 dreadnoughts, and it's cool. But then your dockyards are tied up, and you can't build cruisers when you need them, and the dreadnoughts may not be ready in time to finish the war you're in. They may show up after the war, where they do no good, other than soak up your money. So you're like, fuck, and you end up with all of these ships that don't do what you need them to do. America is building shitloads of battleships. They may be the people to fight, which could be fun. We could go try to take Maine back. We could just say, like, give us Austro-Hungary and Maine. They'll say, like, why? And I'll say, because I said so. I said so, and we're going to do it. All right, starting to get there with our technology. Britain gains control of Hawaii. That's exciting. So what we're going to do here is hull strengthening. We're starting to get into advanced hull materials, hull construction, fully welded hulls. All right, we're starting to get into really good ideas here. And then boilers, what do we got? Oh yes, new funnels. So make better smonk. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Cruiser designs, we got battle cruisers unlocked, obviously, and then we're starting to get into advanced battle cruisers, which is neat. Battle cruisers are neat, but they are not very long-lived in this game. They typically do, you end up needing either more cruisers or, well, hold on, let's see. You know what? I'm going to get rid of 2 of these just to free up dockyard space. There we go. All right, now we are at under capacity, and I can start to research into some other ideas. I know. Some people are going to scream. Tex, why? Because I have to refit the austerity class as well, dingus. That's why. Also, I want to see what we can build. Super battleship, on paper, the biggest I can make is, well, actually, hold on. Oh my. Yeah, 128,000 tons, which is dumb. I think that's really cool, though. Let's see. Modern destroyer leader. I have 4,000. No, almost. Wow. That could be pretty neat. That could be pretty neat. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Large battle tower. Has to fit all the way back here because there's no other room for it. But yeah, we're starting to get into some very scary looking destroyer designs that should be absolutely crazy. 40 knots is quite possible. That's scary. And then 5-inch gun. I'll put 1 up front. I'll put 1 in the middle. I'll put 1 there. I'll put 1 there, and 1 there. Now that is a really cool battleship. Battleship. Wow, don't I sound special? Let's see. Let's do. No room for torps. Can I put them in the center? Can I put these? Yes, I can. These got to get chucked off the deck at range, but still, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, what a boat. All right, so let's turbines. No, diesels. And then, actually, with diesels, do I need 2 funnels? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I need 2 funnels. Excellent. So yeah, the pitch is not great, but we'll get there. So let's see if we can do 42 knots. 42 knots? No, that is just massively wrong. So 40 knots is flying. That is amazing. Oh, coal and diesel? I don't know how that would happen, but I mean, well, gasification of coal is a thing. Fischer-Tropsch process, I believe. But yeah, we're going to build these things to be really over the top in every which way. It needs radar. It needs radio direction finders. It needs sonar. It needs the best range finders known to man. It needs mines. It needs mine sweeping capability. It needs depth charges. And then cordite. No, we're getting into everything it needs to be. We're just going to make these as ridiculous as possible. So I am a bit overweight in terms of what the ship is, and that's fine, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slowly lower, let's see, 35. 35 knots brings it right home. At 35 knots, I don't need another funnel, which means I have more room for torpedoes, which I will use. Oh, hold on. Right there. Yes. This is now the monster I need. So, yeah. Hazar. Actually, I'm going to keep that. That's a cool name. Yes. This is a good boat. This is a very good boat. Reloading? No. Where's my semi-auto loaders? Can't have it. Enhanced? Right on the money, and it says no. All right, so I can bring up the forebelt a bit. Right up there. There we go. Oh, there we go. Excellent. Let's do 0.4, 0.4. Excellent. Conning tower. All right, this is a good ship for now, the Hazar class, and it's got 3 sets of very heavy torpedo launchers, 15-kilometer range on those. Now let's get into torpedoes where it says standard. Standard torpedo propulsion. No, we're going to get into oxygen-fueled torpedoes, slightly overweight. Slightly overweight. It's okay. I'll shave some weight. I will shave some weight. It's okay. Watch this. Get this down to that, and then we go boop, boop, and boop, and we're slowly gonna get it back up. Okay, not bad, not bad. There we go. Hazar, what a great ship. Now these are very long-range torpedoes. I will build 15 of these, I think, and I know where to put them. These are going to be my standby, go harass the enemy at range boats. And they're great. They're going to be great for that. And these are very large destroyers for this era, but I don't care. These are fun. They have radar rangefinders too, which means you can't run from them. And they're going to be fiendishly accurate. So that means I'm going to see everyone before they see me. In fact, let's see. At 3,749 tons... Let's see, how much room do I have? All right, you know what? Fuck it. Build. Let's do 30. All right, so I'm going to have the first 10 right there, and I'm going to have those, let's see. These are going to be in Manila. These, D10 through D19. I know it's not exactly 10, but don't worry. Manila, and then we're going to do Belfast. There we go. And then you guys are going to be in the Caribbean, because yes. Now, these things are going to take 13 months to build, and we're just over shipbuilding capacity, not really stressing it too terribly bad. And within a year, we're going to get our battleships out, which means I will be able to build even more. And then I should be ready in time to build my submarine fleet. The technology is slowly catching up. These destroyers are scary because they are very long range, and their torpedoes are very long range. So I can drop smoke and do figure eights outside of their gunnery range, and then just start launching torps into the water as they don't see them. That's exactly what I want. Now, could they kill them all? Sure, they could kill all of them. But they are going to have to run into really scary torpedoes to come close, and that's what I want. Each of these has 15 torpedoes in a volley. Now, if I was a real bastard, I could make these even more. I could make 30 torpedoes in a volley, which I might do in a successor design. I want to build something that makes the enemy run through bullet hell, because if I have these available right as a war starts, I can have these steam up toward the enemy's beachheads and just start picking fights. No, Greece, you have enough boats. Leave the Ottomans alone. The idea of a torpedo destroyer or cruiser is not new. That is, the Japanese really built some interesting cruisers with just fuck tons of torpedoes on them, because yes, then their torpedoes tended to work really well. So, I mean, you know, if you got it, flaunt it. That's just kind of how it works. 9 months until these are done, so let's get these done and see where we go. Also, I just got an idea for a new design of heavy cruiser that is probably game-breaking, maybe. I don't know. We can see. We can see. Let's break the game together. We're friends, right? We can do that. We can break the game together. We can break the thin wall of sanity. What I need to do is wait until these battleships are done first. Then once that happens, I will design something redonkulous. I'm going to design something that should be able to put as many torpedoes in the water as is humanly possible. Oh, a cruise ship from France was sunk due to accidental fire. Fuck you, France. Oh no, a defector and something. I don't care. England, you lost the last one. You want to go again? Do you want to go again? Because if you want to go again, I'll do that. They'll give me even more money. I will use it very poorly. And you will find yourself fighting a barrel of monkeys. This is just going to be an absolute barrel of all sorts of weird things. The Habsburg's got its radar. It's doing its best. It's thriving. My crew is starting to get trained. Excellent. We're starting to actually get really good training in our Navy, which, considering this Navy was like a paper Navy when the game started, is now an accomplished Navy. That's amazing. All right, tension. Fleets affect bilateral relations. Yes. Improved torpedo propulsions. Absolutely. French lost a lot of shit to mines. So that's fun. I'm probably going to need to build even more destroyers to deal with the contentious issue of mines, but that's okay. If I put 20 destroyers in each theater and 90 submarines globally, I should pretty much have these motherfuckers on lock. Now, the issue is here. Looks like France is starting to get a little bit uppity. I'm starting to see them gobble up the rest of the possessions of Germany. Now, Germany's trying to fight an overland thing, and German armies are typically very good, especially in this game. They typically do the business. So if they take northern France, France still has a lot of territory, but this is a core part of their empire here, and they will not let that go easily. Fuck you, Spain. They're yelling at me. They're saying, did you know that you did these things? And I'm going to say, I don't care. You can go to hell, and I will do what I want. Now, I'm starting to get the potential of modern armor here. Now, modern armor is kind of a misnomer. Modern is modern by 1940s, 50s standards, not modern in terms of modern day today standards, because most ships today don't have armor. They have splinter protection and they have layers of stuff that protects the crew, but they're not armored like World War II ships are. You have a lot of hulls that are made to be as light and fast as possible. They're not designed to take big hits. They are designed instead to mitigate the damage a hit does, and instead to use electronic warfare and point blank, or point defense rather, like phalanx, sea whiz, SHORAD sort of stuff. And the whole umbrella of short range, medium range, long range air defense and deterrence, detection of the enemy beyond visual range, and all of these other things are to mitigate the chances of being struck at all. And that is the new armor, rather than just bring it, take it on the chin and shoot back. Espionage? I don't really care. I'm just gonna say, ignore. I don't give a shit. Let's go see what America's been doing. So America's been taking everything around here, which is, they took Venezuela and so on. Brazil and Argentina are still very neutral and playing their own game. Canada's just hanging out up there. Looks like France is going to try to take Algeria from Germany. And you have Britain has given up on trying to get into Spain and is now trying to invade southern France. Germany is not pulling this off, it looks like. Germany and Britain are working together, and they're just not getting it done. So stalemate, stalemate, and stalemate. Britain's control through all of this is rather impressive, so that's where they're making a lot of their money. Australia is doing very well. They're making probably good money for Britain, but if the next war happens, I'm going to go down here and take this from them like right off. And then I'm going to try to take Sumatra. I'm going to try to gobble up some of these possessions to make sure that they don't have money for yet another war. I was surprised I was able to hold on to Ireland at all, because they have land forces, and they have lots of them. I'm thinking I might actually scrap the whole second set of the austerity and just have 4 of them. Because, well, no, not austerity, the export and Bowden. Because I need to build better ships, and I have some ideas. Time has passed, and it's okay, they're not done yet. I will build more destroyers, and then I will have 4 austerity, 4 export and Bowden, the wide Tom, and then I can start construction of another super capital, which will be cool. I promise you this much, it will be fucking cool. I'm just waiting until I get bigger guns. I would like to put like 18 or 20-inch guns on it. I think that would be sexy. I think you demand that as well. I mean, again, we're talking about building something that is monolithic and bonkers, and you can't go small on that. You need to go very large. So, as I haven't gotten into a war yet, I'm going to take, where is it? Export and Bowden, the second set, yeah, 18 months. Yeah, right. No thanks. I'm going to scrap those, and then we look at our shipbuilding, and we are 100,000 tons under. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another 30 of these. There we go. And I'm going to put them in Cartagena. There we go. And there. I'm going to put the next set into... I'm going to put the next set into Belfast. There we go. And then I'm going to put these out in Manila. And these things are going to be my go wreck most of their navy as quickly as possible. As soon as a war starts, that is their only job, is to go out there and just crush their navy. And in 4 short months, I should have my export and Bowden out. And yes, this is ruinously expensive to build all this at once. I know it is. Don't worry about it. 60 destroyers. Again, these things should be able to ruin a fleet as soon as the war starts. The reason I'm also shifting to shitloads of destroyers and submarines is because I know what submarines can do. And I also know that if you don't learn the lesson from the last war, e.g. all battleships, you're going to regret the next war. That and I'd like to build fewer, cooler battleships than doing the giant battle line of okay-ish battleships. I think it's fun to do that. And I'm trying not to do the same thing I did last Let's Play. So, oh yeah, nah, don't care. Let's see, 11-inch guns are getting better. That's fine. I need to develop some really crazy big guns, though, before I get into anything too silly. I would really like to get some very, very, very big, stupid guns. I would love to get a 20-inch battery. That's what the Germans were planning on putting on some of their later battleships. The H-class designs, the blueprints were drawn up, some of the design studies were done. They could have never built them, especially not in time for the war they were planning. They could have never built the fuckers. They would have just taken too long, because you would have had to have increased the size of all of the shipbuilding capacity of the Third Reich. You would have had to have built much larger facilities to handle them. And then you basically have a navy that can go nowhere, because it would just be trapped up here. As soon as you built that thing, you know that every submarine in the Royal Navy and every plane in the Royal Air Force would just be like, oh, sink that thing. Because it would be like watching 20 apartment blocks drive around. And you're like, oh, the giant target in the North Sea, can't miss it. You wouldn't even need to send a normal surface fleet to engage something like that. And it would die like the Yamato did. You would end up having something get absolutely obliterated by aircraft, and it would just roll over and sink, and it would be very, very sad. Building smaller ships was the smarter choice. All right, I'm just going to sit there and cruise and have an okay time. All right, just slightly over capacity, not a problem. 2 months to export in Bowden. 2 months. Then we have 2 classes of interwar ships that need to be upgraded, obviously. And they need to be refit with radar, the modern armor, and all the other stuff I've developed. Probably just going to put radar and better ship engines in them, and then upgrade the armor with the weight savings. Or just put better armor on them, because it has been a time since we were... since they were rolled out. But yeah, some weight savings will help. I'll make them a little bit more efficient. And I guess we have the oil now, which is insane to say. We're going to also slowly try to build much nicer submarines. We're getting that technology slowly. Like mine layer subs are neat, but we're slowly getting much finer technology, and we are about to unlock gas turbines, which is going to be insane. I will be putting gas turbines on stuff now. I've decided. The Habsburg is going to get a gas turbine. Some of you are already screaming, going, Tex, why? And I'm going, because it's my navy. The Habsburg is getting a gas turbine. This is what I want. I could make it faster. Some of you are just going to not like that, but it's okay. I'm going to build, I think, a pair of heavy cruisers, just as a one-off experimental pair of heavy cruisers that are going to be torpedo test platforms, aka the boats I will use to harass and beat the shit out of the enemy. I think those pair of heavy cruisers are going to be hilarious. Are they going to be practical? No. Are they going to be useful in many other ways? No, probably not. But what they will be is a celebration of stupid, and that's what we do best. Fuck off, Britain. All right, the first block of the Hussars is almost done, and in another 6 months, the second block will be done. And yeah, I will have more than enough destroyers to absolutely annihilate the enemy. They are outfitting my battleships right now. They're commissioning them. So I will have the austerity boats, which are all front-forward facing kind of rip-offs of the Nelson class. And then I'll have the second class of austerity boats, which is my Exporto class, which, nobody wanted to buy because it was fairly expensive and nothing like the original Exporto, which was an Italian miracle. Yeah. The small dreadnought is often overlooked as a ship class design in this game. They're fairly representative of coastal design or coastal defense ships of the period. Sweden had a number of them. And these coastal defense ships are not bad. They are like micro dreadnoughts. They're fairly tough. They are not exactly giant fleet operations boats. And they are technically a ship that you can operate in, deep water. But they're designed to be a supplement to your defense plans. They're small enough to actually take refuge in fairly shallow water. And they're quite reasonable as far as ships go. All right, let's see. Yeah, we are way under capacity now. Excellent. Now we can get into the austerity class, and we can refit them. We can refit them now that the technology is better. Yay! Everyone clap. You don't have to. It just makes me feel better. All right, so these things have a bit of a problem with everything, but don't worry. We're going to just refit these and then delete the original design and forget we ever made them. So we're going to put better diesel engines in there, save a little bit of weight. We're going to put better auxiliary engines in there, save a little bit of weight. And then we are going to, nope, don't have that yet. We have better anti-torpedo, everything. I mean, these things are just reinforced to the gills, which is going to make things nice. I could put the Citadel 5 in there, might as well. Gonna put radar on it, because yes. Gonna put shells that can actually penetrate, because yes. And then I'm just gonna keep it simple. Nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna make the inner decks a little bit stronger. That will hopefully bring the weight at the water line a little bit. I'm trying to bring the center of gravity down. Try to help this a little bit in its handling of the sea state. So we're going to make that a 16-inch main belt, and then we're going to make the conning tower like a bajillion tons. All right, 18-inch is too much for the conning tower. All right, there we go. Let's do 15-inch conning tower. Yeah, all right, that's fine enough. So now the ship has global operations range, and she's a good boat. She's a good boat, for the most part. I mean, the guns aren't perfect. They're 16-inch guns, but this is a fairly sane design. It is a fairly sane design. It's not perfect, but it's sane. Now, the other Exporto is a little bit more interesting. I know that some people think that stuff like the Nelson class or whatever are just bonkers in terms of ship design, and it's not. When you look at the limitations imposed and what they were trying to work around, it's actually reasonable. And the ships acquitted themselves well. A lot of people thought they were going to be ungainly and hard to maneuver and all of these other things, and they weren't. They actually weren't. It says that they will take 4 months to refit. Excellent. Now I'll just delete the original design. And yes, so I'm going to then take my Exportenboten, and I'm going to do a refit design off that, delete the original design. And then once gas turbines come out, I'll put those on the Habsburg first, just as a test. That'll be my test bed boat. This is not a bad ship. I know some people are going to say Exportenboten. Why? And I'll say because I can. Diesels. All right. Some parts are badly placed. Ah, the new torpedoes. Excellent. All right, so that saves some weight. All right, so diesels. It runs on coal and diesel. That's a very involved engine room. That's going to be a very involved engine room. We're going to put the fancy steering on it, just because we can. And this thing now gets radar. Yes. Okay, high capacity shells. We're going to do the best we can in that regard. We have a lot of armor to play with, which is more than fine. So let's put a 16-inch belt on there. And you know what? Let's make this a 20-inch belt on there. And there we go. That'll bring its handling characteristics down a little bit. Yeah? All right, main deck 666. There we go. Mark of the beast. And we'll put a bit of heavier armor on everything. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. There we go. 18-inch on this, and that's too much. 17-inch. Okay, 16, maybe 16's worth snow. All right, let's do right there. Oh, right over. There we go. So it's a little bit better. This one isn't meant to be as fast, but it's kind of a cool ship. And these are 17-inch triple mounts. So yeah, this is not a bad ship at all. These are some really cursed dreadnoughts, but I like them. I think they're neat. I might build an even bigger dreadnought as another super capital. And then, you know, the last of the dreadnoughts built way late. That sounds really exciting as a one-off fucked up boat design. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be nice. By nice, I mean adequate. Adding radar to these things is going to make them fun. I have much larger guns than most of my contemporaries, because the last fight I had, they were using 14-inch guns with a few steps. They were not using the giant gun with everything on it. So, yes, we do have a few steps ahead, which is excellent. Looks like the destroyers will be commissioned very quickly, and then in 5 months, the rest of them will be built. I can do follow-on designs very quickly with that. And we should be where we need to be. Excellent. So I have more than enough room left to do a very insane, and I do mean this, very insane cruiser that is going to test not only good taste, but reasonable sense. So let's see what we can do. All right, I am going experimental heavy cruiser. What is, oh, that does look experimental. There's also a compact heavy cruiser. What, experimental heavy cruiser, let's build that. Okay, yeah, because looks like I still have a bunch of my older ships and no. All right, let's put a giant tower up front. And let's put a giant tower on there. Excellent. Excellent. Already way too tall. Ooh, a crane funnel. Excellent. All right, good. Now let's just give this a speed of like, I don't know, 30 knots. 30 knots is good enough. And all the range. Yes, yes. All right, so main guns, I'm going to keep this simple. We're going to do an 8-inch quadruple battery. I know that's not simple at all. Let's see. 6-inch guns, 6-inch quadruple battery up front, 6-inch quadruple battery in rear, right? That's it. That is the only gun that's going to be on this, because the rest is going to be fucking torpedoes. That is what we're going to do. So we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. It's going to need to be a bit sturdy, because I think that as soon as the enemy sees this, they're going to clap it with lots and lots of weapons. But it will have depth charges, which means I can use this to fight submarines on occasion. Yes. Yes, this will be more than fine. Now, torpedo launchers. I said we're going to do torpedoes, and I meant it. Yes. This shall be adequate. Now, torpedo size, 23-inch torpedo, says some parts are badly placed. I disagree. I think those parts are finely placed. I think that maybe there's some limited don't worry about it. So, what we can do now is standard, no, oxygen, because we're going to do the longest range torpedoes possible. And yeah, these will be excellent. These will be truly excellent. What? Oh, it doesn't like... Okay, 1 second. We got this. Don't freak out, game. Oh, it's because they are so big now, it doesn't like them not being in the center. Okay, that's fine. What we can do now is we can now broadside with torpedoes. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. This will be excellent. This is going to be an insane ship, driven by insane people. Let's see if we can get it to 35 knots. No? What about 32? 32 is a reasonable amount of knots. I'm going to call this Go-Go Gunboat. It's a great name, very honorable name in gunboat diplomacy. Coal? No, oil. And turbines? No, diesel. And then, yeah, all right. And then, yes, there we go. Should be fine. Let's make these a little sturdy. Gonna put a big belt on it just so it can take the occasional knock that bunks into it. Need to have these be a little tougher. Foredeck, aft deck, conning tower. Let's do as thick as possible. Let's make this a 12-inch belt. Okay, 9.2 inches is the limit, which is great. This is absolutely bonkers for a cruiser. Yeah, this is a great cruiser design. I say to myself, convinced of my hubris. Let's see. Yeah, this is actually a really tough ship. For the size. Like, this is absolutely overbuilt in every way. Engine efficiency is not the greatest, but Go-Go Gunboat class, yeah, I'm gonna build a handful of these. I think I may build like 5, and I'll put them where they can go cause a lot of trouble. I think that this is gonna be a really fun ship to play with. I know they're not the sanest thing I've built, but they're going to be the most majestic thing I build. Go-Go Gunboat. All right, there we go. I'm going to build 6 of these. And I'm going to put them... Go-Go Gadget Gunboat. Let's see. I'm going to put them in... yeah, I'm going to put them in North Hokkaido. These are going to be part of my keep an eye on the Japanese fleet. And then I should probably build another like 6, I think, and I should put them in like Odessa. Actually, wait, that's where those guys are. Shit. I'll put them in Novosibirsk. Because yes, these things are gonna be fun. They're not perfect, but they're gonna be fun. These are definitely built for a little bit of that old gunboat diplomacy. And in just a few more months, I should have everything built the way I want it. It is costing a fortune, but yes, we are building a very large global operations navy after sitting still with just a handful of ships. And yes, the enemy could have attacked at any point. Had they attacked at any point during this time, had my politics and had my diplomacy failed me, I would have just built a series of extreme austere designs that I could afford to lose while I was buying time, and I would piecemeal the enemy, or I'd build a shit ton of exceptionally cheap destroyers and, or even worse, build a shitload of exceptionally cheap submarines, the coastal submarines, the very basic ones, and built those in a matter of months and put them in all of my ports globally. So every time they tried to attack my ports, they would just get horrendous losses. Yes, I would lose a lot of those submarines, but they would lose capital ships to them. So there are a lot of ways you can suddenly defend yourself while you're doing very large build plans by using very cheap things. Are you going to be able to go on the offensive with that shit? Absolutely not. But it is certainly like throwing a handful of sand in the eye that was once contained in the pocket. Pocket sand. Yes, yeah, Britain something, I don't care. Yes, I need more money to fight Britain. I'm just going to say that even though that's not true. Let's see. No, you can't have my ships. They're too cool. I know they want them, but they can't have them. Because they said they wanted them means I won't give them to them. They said, I would like the cool ships, and I'm going to go, no, you may not. You may not have them. Go away. All right, so we are well within our means of getting the Navy back on track. And I mean in a terrifying way. This is what we do. We are going to build a very scary Navy, and then we are going to go poke people in the eyes. Also, I'm going to put a gas turbine in the Habsburg and in the White Tom. I'm going to do it to both. They are my prestige boats. You know, you shouldn't really build prestige boats, but it feels good to do it. And I've heard that self-care and self-compassion often requires these ludicrous displays on occasion. It's the equivalent of owning a Ferrari in Maine. You know you probably shouldn't, but why not? Right? YOLO, as they used to say. As they used to say back in the day, YOLO. Excellent. We had another election, which, as we are a monarchy, is funny. All right, we can now build a very large cruiser. No, you can't have my boats. I'm sorry. They're too cool. They're for me only. And that's it. So, no. I need to refit a few of my things. I'm going to delete the Hussar because the next series of destroyers will be even more redonkulous in every which way. We have, 5 months for these destroyers to be done. We have 1 month for my battleships to get out, or they're going to commission in 1 month. Then I can refit them. And I'm going to refit them 2 at a time just to save a little bit of time in the dockyard. But as soon as they're commissioned, I'll just start putting them back in, refitting them with radar and all the things I need them to have. Because radar is very important, and we're the first to have it, so we need to make sure we are the best. I also probably need to pick a fight with somebody. It feels like I need to, because the budget is now running in the negative, and I need that defense money. So let's find somebody who doesn't like us that much and finish the job. Let's throw shoes at them. Let's do what I want my ambassador to go to them, call a meeting, show up in a suit, act nice, and then throw shoes at their face. All right, so the export and Botons are finally done. It only took years, so I'm going to take them and refit them. I'm only going to refit 2 of them. There we go. They are being refit right now, and it will take 11 months to refit 2 of them because holy shit. And yes, they're going to take a while to refit, and that's fine because the refits of the other 3 austerity class are going to take 3 months, and that's also fine. Yes, we are running at a negative. Don't worry about it. As soon as the austerity classes are out, we will be back under our shipbuilding capacity, and everything will be fine and dandy like cotton candy. Then we will refit the Habsburg and the Tom, and in the meantime, I'm going to just poke somebody. I'm going to be like, hey, how's it going? How's your Navy? How's things going? You like your job? And they're going to say, you seem like you're threatening me. And I'm like, no. A lot of nice things here. Pity any should break. And they're like, that's a threat. And I'm like, no, I'm just pointing out that, at any point my Navy could drive to your capital and shell it to the ground. And they will say, wow, that was a turbo mean threat. And I'll say, let's fight about it. And as we're fighting in the parking lot, my Navy will start shelling their capital. But that's just details. What I will need to do, though, is contest absolute control of the sea from them. And everybody's fighting each other. I don't care, really. Let's go into politics and see who hates us the most. Let's see. Britain has definitely continued to sour on us. They're upset. They're very upset. So I'm just going to tell them to fuck off and see what happens. We are starting to get there. In another 2 months, I will have the austerity class done and done. And we should have, in 3 months, the Hussars should be done. The second batch. So I will have 20 in each theater of war, and I am priming myself slowly through submarine technology to build my giant global operations fleet of diesel-electric subs. The Soviet Union, all right, yes, they said they will be our allies for no money. When they say no money, that's when I say yes. When they say, oh, we could be empire allies, but I need some dollar cents, I will say no, absolutely not. Okay, so we're just going to keep doing what we do. And I got up for a moment to stretch my legs, and I poured a finger of Applejack. Now, if you don't know what Applejack is one of the 2 native alcohols of the United States. One is bourbon, which is a kind of whiskey. Let's just keep it at that. I used to write whiskey reviews. I ghost wrote whiskey reviews, I should say. And when it comes down to whiskey is really a palate-based thing, much like wine. A lot of people will say that, you know, this is the best, that is the worst, this is overpriced, blah, blah, blah. Everyone has an opinion. I'm not going to really try to preach to you about what's worth it and what isn't. However, when it comes down to stuff like Applejack, now Applejack is different. It's basically whiskey made from apples, and the Founding Fathers enjoyed this quite a bit. Laird's Applejack predates the nation in terms of longevity and is quite okay. And I find that sometimes when I have a sore throat, which is frequent, sometimes, especially if it's cold out or whatever, I will pour myself a finger or 2 of Applejack and enjoy myself. When you have permanent throat damage, a little bit of cough's medicine, as I like to call this stuff, helps. And I know that there are many, many fine boozes out there, but Applejack is pretty decent. It's not too fancy. It's not world class in terms of alcohol, but it's okay. It's definitely okay. Now let's refit the last of the exportin' boatin'. There we go, 4 and 7 months respectively. And then in 1 month, the rest of my destroyers will be ready. And then in 1 year and 1 month, the cruisers will be ready. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go instigate conflict. However, I have a little bit of fleet space left over, so guess what? Habsburg? Oh man, Habsburg, it's time for your next refit. It's time to keep going. Oh, it says you're obsolete. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. You're not obsolete. You're just underappreciated. Gas turbines. Oh, it is overweight. I can't gas turbine it. Not yet. Not yet. I need to wait until I have more armor advancements. Then I will be able to gas turbine this guy. I will make it happen. I promise you. I promise you I will put gas turbines in this. I will put gas turbines, and then I'm going to slowly try to make it light enough with armor enhancements to make it fast enough to be absolutely terrifying. I want people to look at a tumble home that crests 30 knots and just blazes toward them. I will get this as fast as I can. I'm going to keep this boat in my navy forever. It may not be a sane choice, but it will be a choice that I make. Go-Go Gunboat is going to be an okay cruiser design, but I'm going to delete it because I don't want to keep refitting them. There's a lot of them. And I intend to attrition them all out of existence. This sounds horrific, I know, but don't worry about it. I think it will be okay. So, 4 battleships being refit, 12 cruisers being built. It is now time to antagonize Great Britain. I'm going to poke them. I'm going to send their diplomat a flaming bag of dog do, and I'm going to see what they think about it. They're probably not going to like it, but I don't care. And our monthly balance just flipped positive. So it seems like the game is telling me to go do this. I'm going to go bomb the shit out of Britain. I am going to probably try to take the rest of Ireland if I can. If not the rest of... Yeah, I'm probably going to send the battleship fleet down to the Pacific and just take that away from them. Take away all their Pacific possessions, with my battleships and be like, yoink, and they will say, why have you done this? And I will say, because I can. You didn't stop me. That's why. I'm taking it because I can, and you didn't stop me. So, let's see. All right. Yeah, intervention. Oh, wow. America's intervening in Egypt. That's pretty wild. So, yeah, we are getting there. Building is 84% for our newer, bigger dockyards, which is nice. Armor quality is going to keep going because, yes, I'm not going to expend too much, but let's see what we're getting into. Advanced Battlecruiser 5. Yes, we can build even larger lightly armored battleships, which really is starting to get into fast battleship territory. So, let's see where we go. We are now clawing into the positives, which is wonderful. We are getting things done as they should be, which is fantastic. And we're having a good time. A little bit of Applejack does help with the throat. Now, it's not for everyone's taste, but there are a few really good cocktails you can make with Applejack and apple cider, like pressed apple cider, Applejack, a bit of ice, a little bit of cinnamon. And yeah, you can make some fantastic wintry time cocktails for that. Though by the time this airs, it will probably not be cold anymore. And that's fine. I'm just saying, you can do it. Applejack is much a niche booze. It's not for everyone. Not everyone likes it. It has a unique taste. You'll taste it at first and go, that tastes like whiskey. And then you'll exhale and go, apples. There's a lot of booze that's like that. Ugandan alcohol, known as waragi, which is a bastardization of war gin. Waragi is basically moonshine made from bananas. That is fantastic. I know some people really don't care for it. They find it a bit too sweet. But waragi is quite nice. It's almost rum in taste profile, but bananas instead of, molasses. It's not for everyone. So we're going to continue to make submarine advancements, hopefully. And then hopefully I will get even better torpedoes as time goes on, and we'll start getting into really crazy armor forging and shit. I'm just going to wait until we get into, let's see, naval funds are doing well. Naval technology is now back up to average after being so far behind because I, focused in on some very stupid stuff. And that's okay. Seems like Britain isn't willing to fight me right away, so I'm going to just go ahead and push them over the edge. Because I have the Soviet Union as an ally, and that means that they may keep them slightly busy. I don't think the Soviets are going to do jack and shit unless they intend to push on territories that Britain owns in the Far East, which I don't think they will. I think they will absolutely not do that. But that's just me. The Austro-Hungarian Empire. See, we're just going to hang out here. We're going to have a good time. It'll be okay. September of 38. So in 1 year, Germany should be attacking Poland. However, Germany owns most of it, and I own the other half. If this was the normal timeline, which it is not. So this is interesting. Looks like France is attacking Belgium, which is interesting. All right. I guess you don't like Tintin for some reason. I think that the Tintin comics are just fine. I don't know why he's so upset. But we're about to be in a war. Oh, an ultimatum. Well, how about go fuck yourself? How's that? All right, there we go. So Britain wanted a war. I wanted a war, actually. But I'm going to say that Britain wanted it. And that's fine. So here we go. We are at war again. We're going to send the giant submarine squadron to just sit right in the middle here. Everything but Wide Tom. Actually, why don't I just do that and then move Wide Tom there? And then I'm going to take just Wide Tom, and I'm going to have Wide Tom go all the way this way, because Wide Tom is actually going to go invade things. So, now, what do I need to do with my Mediterranean fleet? Well, I think first off, we need to take Valletta, because that is an old English naval base, and it has been around for a long while. These guys are still under refit, so that's fine, because they're going to be a minute. They're going to be a minute under refit, and I can bring them out in time. 1 month, they will be done. So I do have guys in Manila, Cartagena, and of course, I have another few squadrons being built. So I'm not terribly worried. Let's see. I have the other squadrons being built, so I'm not exceptionally worried right now. But I'm going to take Valletta from them because I can. Now, there's a big British Navy over here, and that's not good. So I'm going to take my destroyer squadron, and I'm going to put it right off Singapore and Malaysia, and I'm going to have them just sit over there and be really annoying. And yes, we're going to look at where else I have ships. Now, I can send the Caribbean fleet over if I need it. However, I have another set of ships that will be done in 10... Well, actually, wait a second. No, I put all these guys to sea. Fuck yes. All right, so Cartagena. Let's go ahead and send these guys in because hell yeah. And we're going to do what we can to make the Royal Navy very sad. That is the objective here. As well, look at that wonderful, beautiful, positive cash flow that is all mine now. See, I was running out of money, so I started a war. I hope it's not the Wide Tom getting torpedoed. That would be very sad, because that ship I have babied. Please don't be the one getting the submarine. If it is anything else getting the submarine, if it is all my destroyers getting a submarine, I feel bad for the submarine. Because they have really good sonar, they have really good depth charges, they're quite fast. Yeah, I think that I have an even chance. Unless it's my other battleships, in which case that would probably be not great, but yes. Alright, so here we go. Submarine attack? Yeah, you lose. So go me. Yes, I'm going to destroy some of your transport fleets with my battleships, and we get a big battleship fight right off the bat. Now, these are interesting. These are not their big super battleships, so it looks like they rotated their older stuff to the Far East, which is fine by me. Fine by me. I am now going to send all my boys. I'm going to send all my destroyers in, and I'm going to hope to sink some of their battleships, because I intend to send my second battleship squadron to Australia to take that from them. I'm going to try to take New Zealand, and I'm going to then try to double back and see if I can't get Malaysia or Singapore. I'm going to do what I can to just gobble this up and get them out of the Pacific. I'm going to say, you are no longer a Pacific power. They will have to contend with what of India they control, what of Burma they control, and what of China they control. And I'm going to try to just remove them from the Southeast Pacific. I'm just going to take that from them. Oh yeah, these are old style battleships, except that little barbette there and the tiny turret makes me mad. What is this heavy cruiser? What are these things? Okay, whatever, I really don't care. So we're gonna just form up into a nice slow line here, and we're just gonna set our speed to like very slow. And we're gonna be just nice and slow, and we're just gonna cruise at a very low speed and be very boring here as we form up. We're not gonna advance into the enemy just yet, because our range on torpedoes is 23 kilometers. 23 fucking kilometers. We're just gonna slowly get into range here as my guys, some of them go way too fast. And yes, he is, stop that. Just stop. All right, there we go. Wow. Okay, guys, we're trying to form up here. Can you please stop giving the zoomies? Gentlemen, just form up. Please, some of you have just had the crack for breakfast, and that's fine. So there's the enemy fleet, and we're just gonna smonk. We're just gonna cruise in. Actually, we're not. We're gonna haul ass in. We're gonna haul ass in, as some of these guys are just going way too fucking fast. We're going to haul ass in, and then we're going to cut loose torpedoes at range. I may eventually replace these hussars with very large cruisers that contain even more torpedoes, just to do my thing. So my guys are starting to detect them with radar and everything else, which is cool. It looks like we are well within our ranges here, so I'm going to set them to normal torpedo behavior as the shells come in. Because my destroyers now have like 300 dudes on them, which is a bit crazy. And I cannot take this gunfire, so we're going to do what we can and try to put all those torpedoes in the water. Ow! That's not great. Please don't hurt me. I'm a fragile flower. Alright, they've shot some torpedoes into my formation. I've already had a few boats sink, and that's fine. My torpedoes are exceptionally long-ranged, and we have gotten way too close. And I've already got some hits. Oh, wow. Good hits on him. I'm just going to continue firing torps. Yep, we're getting hits. We are getting hits throughout the squadron on almost everything. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We don't even know what sank, but we sank it. Good job. Good job, good hits. Good job, good hits. Good job, boys. We're just going to sink as many of their ships as possible and cripple the rest of them. There's a dud that hit that cruiser. Ow. That's unfortunate. Alright, smonk for everyone. We're going to make this as hard as we can for them. Everybody HE, please. Alright, so the first torpedo line did pretty decent. That battleship is now sinking. Alright, we're going to try to sink this other battleship, Duke of York. Now, I think manpower-wise, I might lose this fight, because they're definitely not losing 100 cruiser or 100 destroyers for this, but that's fine. The ocean is full of torpedoes. This is I want to watch the world burn as a moment here. Just massive, unrepentant torpedo attack. Torpedoes that run at 51 knots, I might add. Hold on, I'm turning, because there's another torp coming in. Alright, come on, boys. You can do this. Hey, look, it's the ship of Theseus. For realsies. This is a rough fight, but I've already sunk one battleship, and that's fine enough for me. There's the ship of Theseus, which is burning, which is hilarious. I'm gonna see if I can't ram this guy and slow him down some. The ship of Theseus is having some problems. The rest of their battle fleet is already backed off because they're like, fuck this. That is a very large cruiser as well. Oh man, my guy's turning away because he's damaged. Curses. Curses and confounded. Curses. Oh, here we go, drifting in. Hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes, ram time. Let's cause some damage, shall we? Alright, Ramblers, let's get ramming. Yep, I'm bringing you down. I'm sorry, but your ship needs to sink today. Alright, my guys are just cruising for a bruising. This is insane. He's taking a lot of damage from ramming. Ah yes, the ship of Theseus is sinking. Excellent, excellent. Their other cruiser is horribly mangled and leaving. He has taken quite a bit of water. It looks like my other ships, these are the ones that all got mangled early. All right, I may not get that third battleship, but I may be able to fuck up this last guy, which is I'm fine with. If I can get another load of torpedoes off, because he has already taken an enormous amount of damage. Let's look at this cruiser. What is this? Oh my god. He's done the all torpedo thing too. He has drunk the Kool-Aid of torpedo. It appears we are a war of torpedoes now. Alright, we're slowly trying to reload our torps out here. However, again, English gunnery is very, very good. And their torpedoes are also very, very good. Because that is accurate from a long distance. I'm going to do what I can to make their life a little more difficult. Looks like his other battleship is coming back, but it's essentially crippled. It's half of a swimming pool, less a battleship right now. Alright, we're just going to keep pelting this guy and hope that we can reload our torpedoes before he sinks us. I doubt that's going to happen. But even on the off chance it does, I think it'll be great. And I'm causing plentiful damage to these guys, which should make their life a living hell. He is focusing down my destroyers absolutely, because he knows the hazards of what entails if I reload these torpedoes. He knows that this will not end well, but holy crap is he slinging torpedoes back at me. Now my main objective, as I said, is to drive this fleet to dock, and I think I will. That battleship is mangled beyond reason, and his other destroyers didn't even engage in this fight. They were like, not for me. No thank you. Smonk. Okay, I have two destroyers left. They're not in great shape. They're probably going to sink very quickly. Oh, yeah they are. All right, and let's see what we can do objective-wise. He has no ammo left. Wrong. You are a torpedo. I believe in you. Oh man. All right, so I've on paper lost that battle, but he lost a battleship. So victory points, he's getting a lot more. He's getting a lot more. My navy or government may wish to surrender because of that, because of my loss of like 10 destroyers. However, he does not have all the battleships in the world, and that is what I am counting on. This is a rough opener, and this is now a contest between global navies. But I made my play, and I drove those battleships out of action. He is not going to be able to bring those battleships to bear on anything. They will not be able to support. No. The government would sign an unfavorable peace treaty? No, we're going to fight to the end, sir. We're going to fight to the end. That's what we do. Our unrest is very high right now. Tunisia's leader? No, I'm not going to get involved in that. I don't want free territory from Tunisia. What we need to take is Valletta. We're going to naval invade Valletta, which is also known as Malta, but the port is Valletta. And we are going to just take it from them. Now, Exportenboten, you need to go fight, because these guys think that we ain't got shit. So let's go ahead and start with taking the... Oh, looks like he's going to bottle me up. Yep. All right, well, let's bottle up the other end, shall we? 2 Exportenboten there. The 2 Exportenbotens will go there. And let's look at our fleet, where it is. And we have a lot of go-go gunboat, which is fantastic. And I will not use the Habsburg. The Habsburg is our brave boy, and he is going to live forever. So, let's see. Improve relations. Can't really improve relations with anybody, but most people are fairly neutral toward me. Now, I know that Britain has a bunch of stuff in that area, but the Wide Tom, yeah, I'm going to go take Bermuda, and then I'm going to take the Bahamas, and then I'm going to go take Port of Spain and Georgetown and all these other things. I'm going to take Belize. I'm going to take everything I can from them, because I don't want them in the Caribbean either. And I'm going to keep using hordes of these destroyers. I know that the game will insist, oh my god, you've lost all these victory points because of the poor destroyer fleet. And it's like, right, However, every one of these battles that I do, I will cripple their battleships. I will absolutely continue to cripple their battleships. And that is my main objective. Get torps into those battleships, send them to the bottom, or send them back to the dockyard. This cripples his shipbuilding capacity, his repair, service, and overhaul capacity. He can't upgrade anything. And then I win. Unless my government decides to say we quit, in which case we lose. We lose terribly. But hey, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And as head of the Navy, I needed to prove that I was doing my job, which is by starting a war. The Spanish Empire observes the war oh, yeah, they might want to fight. That's all right. All right. All right, let's destroy more of their shit. All right, Exportin' Boatin' versus one of their newer battleships, Africa class. Look at that, 61,000. So this is fairly equal to what I got, plus another battleship. So this is preventing them from getting into the Mediterranean. I think we need to fight this. I think we need to fight this to force an outcome to see if Exportin' Boatin' is worth the squeeze, because if not, we are a sad, sad Navy. That being said, reminds me I need to start building submarines, because I intend to embargo the main islands. I need to embargo the home islands of the United Kingdom. So I think 30 submarines in Belfast ought to do that. Okay, some very big and strange looking battleships versus my okay and weird looking battleships. However, they have some of them torpedo cruisers that, as we saw last time, were not that fun to play with. However, I already have him on the horizon. So let's use our overly large Panzerschiff here. It is technically an improved dreadnought, but not really. And yeah, we got triple 17-inch guns. Let's make it happen. Yeah, I'm going to make them sail ahead. We're going to do a normal formation, and I'm just going to shoot them as soon as they come in range. We have them spotted. So excellent. It says they have low fuel, so this must be the fleet coming from India or the Pacific. I don't know which. But I have the advantage. Now, what in the fuck is this? What is this? This is a parking lot for gun turrets. All right, and then he has the smaller guy up front, which looks a little bit more normal. I don't like the tall boy turret right in front of the conning tower. I think that's dumb. The rest of it looks relatively reasonable. All right, let's try to shoot him. All right, shells should already be on their way. Yep. Exportin' Boatin'. We're just gonna now slow down to about 15 knots just to let my gunners have their best shots. It says they're all low on fuel, so they should be fairly reasonable. I just have to be afraid. Yeah, blocked. Your shells are useless. That's a relief. Went through the casemate a little bit. Let's see. I should now be within those terrifying torpedo ranges, so I have to be careful here. Says I have a 28% chance to hit this thing. That's a lot better than the last war. Oh, I'm already hitting them. Overpin. Yep, they've got a lot of ships. However, it looks like their cruisers are going further out, which is interesting. This guy's just cruising at speed. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he is drifting like a bastard. Now, if I can hit this guy with one of these 17-inch shells, this is going to be good. However, I just took a bad hit and lost a secondary gun on my second ship, which is not good. So we got, unfortunately, they're still running that, 15-inch guns on this front boat. They're starting to get into bigger and bigger guns. So I need to make him dead. His main belt is 20 inches. Oh man, he's getting into it. The Royal Navy don't fuck around. Oh, but I just landed a hell of a hit. That is a horrific, horrific hit. He is not having a good time. This is a brawl. This is an absolute heinous brawl. This is what my Navy needs. It needs to redeem itself. Exporten Boten. Get them. Alright, for the small guns... For the small guns, I'm telling them just to load up HE and start fires. Seems like they're having some great difficulty with the big guns. Alright, there's the hood. It's coming into range, so here we go. Alright, I'm falling out of formation, it appears, because of damage. So far, this is a pretty damn decent fight. However, it appears he is slowly winning. Alright, I got some through on that, but not enough. This is brutal. Alright, let's refocus fire on his weakened ship here. As my second boat is trying to get back in formation. He took some bad hits. We're taking bad hits, but... Oh, good lord. Those 15-inch guns are going right through. Come on, boys. I know you got this. They're bouncing. Exporten Boten. Shoot him. I know you can. Having you detach from formation just to concentrate on him. As my first ship is slowly going down. He's been beat to shit. Absolute shit. Holy shit, I got him. Excellent. Structurally collapse that guy. I'm hoping to really knock some holes in this dude. Increase speed as best you can and get out of here. Because his other ships are keeping at range and just keeping up a hellacious rain of fire. Oh man. This is brutal. This is Nelsonian. Oh, he surrendered due to high casualties. That's not good. Exporting boatin', why do you defy me? Yeah, 30% losses, no shit. Oh, here comes Torp's launch from extreme range. Those came from back there. Holy hell. Yeah, 45% losses on him, so that's pretty bad. Oh man, they're just burning my crew to death. They're doing what I normally try to do. That's my tactic, you assholes. But no, they did it well. I knocked out one of their battleships. They may take out 2 of mine. I hope the government doesn't surrender. This would be a very sad face. Oh man, I have made lots of errors. If I can get another volley in him and make those stick, that'll be great. Our gunnery is not that good today. He surrendered. Exporting boatin' surrendered. No! You bastards. Yeah, the government is going to be pissed. And now I'm going to be sad. Man, what a rough battle. Royal Navy don't fuck around. What I'm probably going to do is go with a lighter gun, like a 14-inch gun and a successor ship, and I'm going to go for higher rate of fire. I think that's probably where this is. Oh, boy. But hey, you know, live and learn. And that's what I love about this game. A lot of people say, oh, you can just beat the AI and it's easy. It's like, no, you can lose. Your government will just say, I surrender, and you lose. Oh, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to try to take Malta from them. And then I'm going to do my best to take Bermuda, because I think that'll be great. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and... Oh, can't do that right now. So right now, they are beating us almost 3-1 on victory points, which sucks. But it is what it is. So these 2 guys are going to come out of refit next, and that's okay. We've learned that exporting boatin' does not work as well as it should, and that's fine. I'm hoping to just absolutely wreck as much of their navy as possible, though. Now, if we look into the politics, we find out they have 7 battleships, 1 battlecruiser. They have 5 submarines, which is not a lot, but it is enough, because they are fighting a big land war in China right now. That kind of has their full attention. So I'm going to take these 20 destroyers, and I'm going to run them up into this other destroyer group, and I'm going to just park them right off Liverpool, and I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait until the British fleet decides to do something, because I will be able to strike all these harbors in here, and I'm going to slowly diminish their GDP as much as possible while trying to gobble up some of the Mediterranean. I need those ports for myself. I would like those ports for myself. I need a much larger Austria-Hungary. I need it for me. Looks like we have 2 big meeting engagements, and I'm hoping that my government doesn't just surrender in the meantime, because we lost a lot. We've lost battleships, and while they are just not great battleships, it's enough manpower loss to really make this not in our favor. But why Tomas destroying things off Bermuda? There's a battlecruiser. I'm going to hit auto-resolve, and oh, all right. Yes, 4 battleships. These are the Austerity class, and we're going to go versus the Hood and his cruisers. So hopefully we can turn the tide. If we lose this battle, I think that we may be at our end here, but that's fine. I love how this game continues to evolve, and you find that enemy navies do get smarter. They do get bigger and crazier and insaner, and you have to figure out what to do with it. However, I also prove that you can keep an old ship just on the books because you like it. USS Constitution, baby. All right, let's send the Austerity class in. All right, now all my guns are on the front, and these things bob a bit, but that's okay. We're going to do an abreast, because that's what we do. And then we do normal, right? And we're just going to make sure these things go abreast, and we're just going to go right at them, because that's what these things do. They have all their guns forward. They're 16-inch guns, and everything else is 5-inch secondaries. What we're going to do is we're just going to go straight at them, best we can at speed. Come on, boys. We got this. Now, I did fuck this guy up, but I want to bring the hood down. My radar has spotted him at extreme range, which is good. However, he's not fucking around. His ships are pretty decent. All right, we're about to fall into range, so I'm going to put my speed at half. We're already bracketing him. He's answering back. Plunging fire, come on. Oh, ricochet. Main gun destroyed. Good hit. Ricochet. We're starting to get some good damage on them. I can tell they're trying to do torpedo runs on me, so that's going to be a challenge. He's turning a little bit. We're just going to keep going right at him. Some gunnery is better than others. Oh, that's good. All right, let's just keep putting that nose on. Let the armor do its work. Minimal profile. Now he's the one who made the error. If I can take Valletta from him and I can take the rest of the med, this is a victory. And we learned some. Not a lot, but some. Keep turning. This thing's going down. Oh boy, is this thing going down. Shells bouncing off. Oh, he's having a bad day. We must reverse our fortunes in this battle. Ah, yes, sinking. Excellent. Now, let's continue to bully them. Now, their guys are really fast. That guy's moving at like 30 knots. Yeah, let's tell our guys to use HE. Just because I want this to start fires and burst inside their ship. 27% chance to hit, 28% chance. Good, good. If only some of these hit, that'll be good enough. There we go. Nice big fires. That's what you want. And here come the torpedoes. From extreme range, I might add. So the English have done the same thing I did in torpedo technology, which is scary. All right, let's turn. Uh-oh. That might actually go home. No, leave him alone. Boof. Not a lot of damage. I did spring for the extra nice torpedo protection. All right, let's see. Let's try to hit the rest of these guys best we can. Because if we can start knocking holes in their cruiser fleet, good enough. Because their heavy cruisers are really scary. They have lots and lots of very heavy torpedoes, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So, are they gonna leave, or are they just trying to keep at range? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Yeah, they're just doing figure eights out here. Looks like trying to get gunnery solutions on me. Now, light cruiser is just moving. It can do 40 knots. So I don't think I'm gonna hit him easily at range. The guys who are shooting short are hitting the other ship, which is good for me. Oh, yeah, excellent. Very excellent. These fires will help. They will indeed help. Oh yeah, just keep dropping rounds on them. Oh, good fires. Yes. Their shots back are not doing a whole hell of a lot. So austerity class, good boat. That or I finally applied sense. I don't know, I wouldn't say that. Starting lots of nice big fires on their navy, hoping to burn all of this shit to the ground and make it go away. That's what I want. I want their navy to stop existing. This ought to bring the victory points at least a little bit more even. It should also free up the Wide Tom to go cause a lot of trouble in the Caribbean. Oh yeah, he's sinking fast. Alright, we're now going to try to shoot the other cruiser. That light cruiser is going to be a bitch to hit. Yeah, it says our chances to hit him are not all that great. Oh, these are fairly close. If I can land a few shots right into them, that's something. Now, I got lucky. These guys have low fuel. Had they full fuel and maneuverability, they could have just charged in. However, with nose on, they found the job a little harder because minimal profile. Quite nice. Battle line. Increase speed to flank. increase speed to flank, and he can't. So on low fuel, this guy is probably banging along at 15 knots or so. I'm going to try to close this in to, as you can see, my gunnery is getting a little closer. I'm going to try to close this in range so the 5-inch gun mounts can start to do work on that light cruiser. Maybe, and that will help me turn things around. Ooh. That's not good for him. I need to win this battle. Clean sweep. Bring that Navy out of the water, or rather deeper into it. Go austerity, fleet. Yeah, the 16-inch gun seems to be right where the business needs to be. He is now suffering lots of problems. I'm going to tell the secondaries to do this, and holy shit, is that a fast torpedo. It did almost nothing. It just nothing. Guess all that torpedo protection pays off. Alright. Oh. And I skirted most of them. Yeah, he's laid out torpedoes like crazy and they're just not getting through. Yep, you lose. Excellent. Now we're starting to turn the tide here. That's what I want. This guy looks like he's done with everyone's shit. Look at him. Just look at that face. He's just like, fuck this. I know that look. That is a really rough look, but I know it well. That's how I look when I look in the mirror. I'm not that thin. I'm not like whipcord thin. I have very broad shoulders. But that look right there in the eyes, yeah, that's me. Okay, let's see. Dun dun. So Britain is conquering the shit out of China right now, which is cool. I'm going to take Valletta and Malta, and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take Majorca. I'm just going to take all this from them. I'm going to do my best. If France doesn't, I will. I've got my big old destroyer fleet in here, which is just going to cause all sorts of problems. I could lose them all, but I could also end up getting lucky and crippling more and more and more. I'm going to have Wide Tom go ahead and just secure what it can. Looks like it's not going to let me do it. It seems to think that I don't have enough tonnage there to take Bermuda, which is a lie. I'm going to put them real close to the island and hopefully not grounded. That would be kind of funny. Let's see. Are these ready yet? No? Come on, fleet. Where are they? Go gunboat in 7 months, which I'm going to cut loose on them. Refit in 1 month. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hull strengthening is getting good. Armor quality and hull strengthening is where I'm going to put some research for the moment. And then gun layout, what am I going to get with this? Advanced bulkhead protection. Yes, I'm going to absolutely do that. I'm going to keep up my naval invasions. They haven't mobilized anything in Australia yet, which is nice for me. Can't believe I lost my Pacific squadron, but that's kind of a naval meme in itself. All right, tension. Excellent. Let's just sink more transports. Ah, yes, what I wanted. So that's one of their older battleships, but I need not to piss them off. They have almost 16-inch guns. He also has one of those nicer cruisers there, which could be a problem. All right, are we ready? Let's do this. Let us do this. Let us do battle. Okay, let's see. 38 destroyers versus battleship fleet. Now, this is going to be a bit of a problem, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a few guys into a battle line here. I'm going to put 11 of them in a battle line, and then I am going to put the rest on AI and have them go around and cause as much trouble as possible for the enemy. And yes, I'm going to put, there we go. There's my main battle line. And I'm going to form these guys up. But the rest of these are going to be relatively small detachments of AI boats, and the objective is going to be to cause as much trouble as possible. As you can see, they're all just kind of swarming around, which is great. We also have a really good hydrophone and radar heading, so we should be able to, see radar contacts intermittent out there. We should be able to find them. And there we are. All right, let's move in. Let's move in, and torpedoes off for now as I smonk and I let my AI friends do their business, because they're going to swarm around at maximum range and fire torpedoes off. Oh shit, we're already taking torpedo hits. So they're doing the same thing back to us. You bastards. You absolute bastards. Oh, he took 6 torpedo hits. Holy shit. You guys are monsters. Shooting at a whittle guy? However, we just hit him back. We hit him back a few times. So far the AI is doing, yes, the AI is doing his job by shooting back with torps. Excellent. I'm going to tell you guys to, where is it? Retreat. 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 And retreat. So, I've told my AI forces to retreat from the enemy, and they've already done their job, and now I'm going to tell the remainders, the remainders, he's already sinking from 1 direct hit, so I need to tell these guys to just start shooting normally as possible into the enemy here, because that is a larger ship and that is an enticing target, but everyone else has fired their torps and they're just going to leave. Nope, we're just going to go around your shit. You miss. Oh, they're just chucking torpedoes at me. Every which way. There's the battleship. Please, guys, torpedo the shit out of him. He is sinking already. He has a fucked up rudder. You know you can do this. Oh, yeah. Look at all those torps going out. That is, oh, boy, that is a lot of torpedoes. All right. Now that we've done that, and a million little fires have been started. Excellent. Let's go ahead and tell him to shoot you. Well, you're trying to chuck more torpedoes at me, and boy, are you really trying. Not today. Not today, gentlemen. Oh, he's sinking. He's taking too many torps. Yep. Oh, he may get me with a few, though. Boy, is he being belligerent. It's almost like we're in a war or something. All right, let's go ahead and turn right here. A little bit of right rudder. And now he's done. Excellent. Excellent. So I did lose a number of ships, but I have absolutely shellacked his fleet. And that is what I want to do. The objective is to just grind his navy down. So we've got a lot of this going well. We're beating the hell out of them. And that is what we need to do. This is a rough fight. And yeah. All right. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So, we should probably be taking Malta. And we're slowly whittling down the Royal Navy, and our war score is about the same, which is important. Please let me invade Bermuda. It won't. It is just not letting me do it. Well, you know what? Fuck you. We're going to go invade England. We're going to start by going to northwest England, and we're going to expose Wide Tom to potential submarine shenanigans. And then we're going to move you down here into the Irish Sea, and we're going to have you do your business. And then please be ready. Yes? Yes. Yes, you are ready. All right, cool. Let's move the 2 Exporto class, which are not as good, but good enough. And then, okay, he has a huge fleet that is going into the Indian Ocean. I have no idea what he's doing with it. But I've drawn up my army in Australia, which is not enough because his army force is huge. And yeah, this is going to be horrific. But my army has become active, so they've increased their numbers. Now let's get into our fleet. We have a number being repaired. In 6 months, we will have the Go-Go gunboat squadron ready. And we'll have some in the Pacific, so I can use those to just go harass the piss out of the enemy, which is exactly what I need them to do. But right now, we are in the middle of a horrific war, which, again, we are barely pulling even after a few early upsets. If I can sink a few more battleships and other capital vessels, that will put me ahead. That is what I need to do. However, I need to bring in and try to conquer some of England. If I can conquer some of England, this is where it's at. And I just realized why White Tom can't invade. I just realized it. You need 100,000 tons of tonnage in the area to begin an invasion. White Tom is not 100,000 tons by itself. Oh, yes, the United States might be happy with me. Let's sink that submarine, or do the damage. Oh, hell yes. Let's auto-resolve. Heavy and medium, good enough. Let's auto-resolve that, and let's auto-resolve that. All right, light and medium, good. We're starting to get there. Starting to get there with more advanced stuff. All right, so I'm going to take that off that, and hull strengthening will get good in a second, and armor quality will start getting better shortly as well. Advanced hull materials. Ooh, fancy. And since our dockyard has space, I'm going to build 2 super capitals. Why? Because I can. And we only have one other old super capital. We built 2 originally, and one just got torpedoed out of nowhere and just rolled over and sank. Most tragic shit in the world. Can't allow that. I need to build something truly terrifying. So let's build a super battleship, shall we? Range needs to be huge, and we just need to make it as big and as deep as possible. And there we go. 128,000 tons. Yes. Why? Because it's cool. No other reason. Why did I build this? Yes. All right. Large funnel. Excellent. Engine capacity insufficient. That's fine. It's gas turbines, baby. Still way insufficient engine capacity for the turbines, but don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. It'll be all right. It'll be a-okay. I don't think it matters what kind of steering I put on this. I think its turning radius is going to be measured in states. It's going to be like, yeah, this thing won't turn around. Let's see. Put all the best on it so I can see the enemy. Do what I need to do. Engine efficiency is still going to be way too high. I'm going to say that this thing just does 24 knots. That is as much as I'm going to make it do because of the limited power for everything. Unless, what if I did diesels? Would that, yeah, that would help it a bit. A bit. Good enough. Centerline guns. Let's do quadruple 16-inch guns all the way around. Those look tiny on this thing, but I don't care. Enlarge, there we go. Yeah, there we go. They look absolutely heinously tiny on it, and that's fine. Centerline 16-inch, 16-inch, there we go. Centerline 16-inch, 16-inch, right? There we go. So we are still under our tonnage by a bit, even though we put all the nice stuff on it, except for barbettes. Now there we go. All right, let's bring this a bit more to the center, just to make this happier. All right, good. Excellent. Now, what do I need for secondaries? I think, ooh, God, triple 8-inch gun mounts all the way around, so it's like a cruiser essentially. No, let's do 6-inch guns because those are sane enough, right? And then I can put no. Yeah, these are my, like, destroyer go-away guns. Like, a destroyer comes up and I go away. And then I light them up. And they go away. All right, that's pretty okay. I know that some of these are not perfectly aligned, which will annoy some people. I will fix that, just for you guys. That's worth an upvote, I guess. All right, there we go. Good enough. This thing has excessive pitch, excessive everything else. But yeah, that's a lot of firepower. I'm glad I don't have to put anti-aircraft guns on this, that there's no aircraft in the game yet. But I'm going to put plenty of smaller guns on some of these parts. Just, no? All right. So we have some small guns just to shoot at torpedo boats. Good enough. Let's do a 20-inch main belt all the way around. And then here we go with armoring it. All right, what a motherfucker this thing is, huh? All right, let's do a 4-inch foredeck and a 4-inch aft deck, and then let's do an 18-inch conning tower. And then the inner deck 1, there. I'll make this a 18-inch main belt. All right, there we go. Okay, now we have a little bit of weight to play with. And then I'm going to make the inner belt a little bit thicker there. The inner deck there a lot thicker. All right, good. I will call this one Grand Tomas, the widest of the Toms. This is not a sane ship, and I don't care. I will build one, and then I will build something even bigger and crazier when the time comes to build a 20-inch gun version of it, which will probably just have 2 gun turrets and then the rest in armor, but I don't give a fuck. I mean, when you've reached this level of industrial design, good reason has fled the room, and it has taken with it sensibility and sanity, and of course, probably half the budget. But that's fine, because we're in a war. We're in a war for survival. And by a war for survival, I mean this country shouldn't exist at this point in history, so I'm pretty sure even fate is working against us. But that's okay. I will build a Grand Tomas, and I will build it in Croatia, and it will take up that whole shipyard. Yeah, wow. I could build another one. I will build another one. And I will build it at the next shipyard over, just so they both have jobs, you know? I want to make sure everybody has some jobs. That's what I think is important. They are obscenely expensive. They may replace the Wide Tom with how expensive they are. And I'll drive them around as a pair, just to be annoying, because by themselves they could support an invasion, which is cool. It looks like they're not willing to come out and fight me right now. Let's see. I don't care about Britain. Oh, we have a lot of unrest. I can spend $5 billion to disperse the crowd. What am I using? Cocaine? All right, I'm going to do it just to make my unrest go down. Wide Tom is just sinking transports like crazy. Good job. Good job, Wide Tom. Okay, there's that. Now, let's invade England, shall we? Let's just invade England. We're going to invade northwest England, then we'll probably take Wales as well, because I think that will get the point across that I'm not here to fuck around, and they should, you know, accept their fate, as it were. So I am about to eat those guys alive. I'm going to take my austerity, or exporting boatin', I should say. I'm going to move those. Let's see. He's got battleships. He's got a few battleships. So I'm going to take the exporting boatin' and I'm going to put them with the austerity class, just so we have one big mob of battleships. And then I will move them down the coast once we've taken this. Or I may instead go take Majorca, because that island is supposed to be beautiful. Fleets affect bilateral relations. All right. Germany? Oh, yeah. Sure. Now they're our ally. See, it didn't cost money this time. All they had to do was be a badass. All right, so I ought to resolve that and just fucked up their stuff, which is nice. I also unlocked modern armor, which is cool. Let's see, convoy. Yep, we're just gonna hit their convoys, do some damage, which is important. Just gonna hit their convoys along with Tylenol class heavy cruiser. All right. We're going to just hit their convoys there and do some damage. Excellent, excellent. And now we're slowly starting to make this war work in our favor. So I have a pretty good chance of making this invasion happen. I'm going to move my destroyer fleet to screen Wide Tom. And it looks like we have Majorca now. Excellent. So I'm going to take my austerity class ships and I'm going to join them with my other ships. And let's go take Majorca next. And then, are the French making headway? Yes, they are. They're actually starting to make headway. I would love to take southern Spain if I could. I think that would be very nice. Now, in 3 months, Go-Go Gunboat is going to be ready. And the ones that are in the Pacific, I'm going to just scream down here to Australia and take it from them. I'm going to take Australia. That is my next objective. I want it. I'm going to take it for myself. Now, they're probably going to not like that so much, but they didn't want their kangaroos to get shelled. They would have done something about it. I can't do an Australian accent to save my life. It's probably for the best. But hey, global hegemony of the Austro-Hungarian Empire demands it. And I've got my unrest back down to 0, even though I'm technically losing this war by now a very small margin. But that's okay. You're allowed to lose a little war, just not the big one. All right, so May 1939. We are certainly getting into bold territory here. Wide Tom took a little damage from a submarine. However, my destroyers damaged it, so that's good. We have still not been driven off from invading, so Britain is going to have to try to break up this invasion fleet pretty hard in order to accomplish anything. Looks like we are mostly together, so let's go ahead and take Majorca from them. I might even try to take Gibraltar, which is a big upsetting blow for Britain. They will not like that. Low crew? Oh no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Looks like I do have one of the austerities is repairing in Avalon, so that's fine. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. I don't think this is going to go badly. Not at this point. I'm starting to roll new ships out, which is bad for them and good for me. Ah, yes, the head of the Spanish Admiralty was fired for the 800th time. Please don't sink Wide Tom. Oh my God, they sunk Wide Tom. They sunk our boy. That submarine got through him even with a destroyer screen, which is tragic. They sank Wide Tom, so I need to sink these guys in order to make this even. Otherwise, my government's going to rebel. You have to auto-resolve submarine attacks, which sucks. I would love to have an option to like try to ram them or something, but it is what it is. I had my destroyers in the region, but they weren't exactly in the same fleet, so I could see that playing out, and that's fine. I'm not going to cry over it, but they sank Wide Tom. That means that I have to grind Britain to dirt. It's what Tom would have wanted. Tom would have wanted the farts to echo throughout the chamber of fear. Or something. Tom says weird stuff sometimes. I don't know. One time, we were hanging out, and he said some asshole drank 80 ounces of King Cobra. And I said, was that you? And he just started laughing, because it was. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to form up a battle line of 12, and I'm going to just do the same fucking tactic. I'm going to tell the AI to attack from 100 different directions. And then I'm going to bring in the last of the battle line by myself. Now, never mind that scraping back there. That just happens. All right. So I'm going to draw these boats slow. I'm just going to let them do whatever they want. I'm going to tell my guys to slow the fuck down. All the other boats just go screaming off to find the enemy. And then as soon as they do find the enemy... Yes, there we go. They're going to launch an ass load of torpedoes at maximum range, and then I'm going to have them leave. Smonk, smonk, smonk. 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 The enemy's like, some mysterious fog has emerged at the limits of our detection range. It's like, yes, indeed. Okay, he's fired his torpedoes, so you may now flee. Have you fired yours? No. You fired yours. You may now flee. You fired yours. You may now flee. The enemy's like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, don't worry about it. You fired yours. You may now flee. Random enemy warship is sinking. Yes, yes, indeed. Have you fired yours? You may now flee. Fire one shot and run. You fired yours? You may now flee. Yeah, they've already taken a crap ton of torpedoes, and they're like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't know. Sounds weird. You fired yours. You may now flee. Full speed to main battle line. Smonk. Now, they are occasionally landing hits on my boys, and that's fine. That is more than fine. Now, the enemy does have a lot of speed. These are their battle cruisers, which are pretty awesome. They have a cruiser out there that's just rolling over and about to sink anyways. A lot of their other ships are crippled, but that is a battle cruiser doing 42 fucking knots. So he is faster than my navy. That is insane. I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna leave that thing alone. That thing is scary. Holy shit. Actually, is he in range? He is. Yeah, alright. Let's just sink him. We can do it. And then we'll leave. We will fire all the torpedoes at extreme range, and then we will leave. Because he can't catch all of them. Oh my god, we are going to torp ourselves. You guys at the rear are really not done a good job with this whole thing, but it's okay. I understand your exuberance. It's alright to be excited at work. Now, let's focus our fire best we can there. Yep. Oh man. So we're just gonna leave, having fired a bunch of torpedoes into their navy. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up hitting that battle cruiser because we let those loose at 1 billion miles range, and he's really fast. He's a very... Oh, Shannon is sinking. All right, yeah, we're gonna just have to let this guy go. He is too fast for me. The Royal Navy has gotten into some apocalyptic levels of technology here, so we're gonna just sail and retreat as their super turbo fast cruiser or battle cruiser just continues to do what it do. I mean, holy Jesus. I see why it's so fast. It only has, oh wow, 17.5-inch guns. All right, so he has 2 quad mounts on the front. And I mean, look at this thing heel over. This thing is fast. I'm having the rest of my guys just leave as quickly as possible. Because that seems like a great idea. I'm going to just tell them all to head this way at full speed. You know, and yeah, that's what we'll do, is we'll just have them all form up into a nice line, a nice giant big battle line. Be like, you're all going this way now, and you're all going to smonk at maximum speed. There you go. We got away from them, but holy shit. So we sank a few of them, but holy balls, they sank the White Tom, which is just, again, appalling to me. That it's sad. That's why I'm building 2 more, you know. I foresaw this, so naturally we were like, oh no, they sank, and more. Build more. We got this. All right, so hopefully this evens things out a bit, but barely. We are still trailing behind, which is tragic. The invasion will now, over here, will probably fail. Yeah, I mean, well, no, we still have the tonnage with our destroyer fleet, but good God. They sank the White Tom, which is just horrific. I just can't believe it. Well, I can, because that ship was absolutely too big. I mean, it was too big to miss. you couldn't exactly miss that thing. You'd try. You could try to miss, but you couldn't. It would be bad. Oh, good. We're going to try a land invasion. Splendid. But yeah, missing the wide tom, impossible. Ship too large. Ship way too big. I will now build, as an interim measure, a crap ton of light cruisers that I think will be able to fulfill some of the needs I have for a navy. I am slightly worried. Oh, look, submarine sunk. Let's just auto-resolve that. His cruisers sunk. Good. We're going to do what we do. No, Brazil, I'm not selling you a Grand Tomas. I'm sorry. You don't have the money. And even if you did, I'm not going to do it. Okay, Britain, we're going to invade now Majorca. Wow, southern Spain, huh? You know what? Let's go for Gibraltar, actually. Because I didn't realize how little that actually required. Let's go for Gibraltar. Let's go do that. Yeah. And we've got some good actions, but wide tom, I'm sorry, you've been retired, you sank. You did all right. Export and boating, you're getting scrapped at the end of the war. You were not that great. Grand Tomas, a lot relies on you now. And an ambush in the English Channel. Let's see what we can do. Excellent. We've done some more damage. So we're slowly starting to crawl back even with them, but what we need is a light or heavy cruiser design. I haven't decided which. Light cruiser has some appeal, though. Now I can build quote-unquote modern battleships, you know, but they're I mean, I like the idea of the modernized dreadnoughts still. They make me laugh. What is the smallest battle cruiser I can make? Because, oh my god, I can make itty-bitty battle cruisers. I can make whittle bitty ones. I can make kind of an Exporto. I know. I probably shouldn't. Experimental heavy cruisers. I've already built some of those. Compact heavy cruisers. Now these are exciting. Let's build these as an interim design. 8,500 tons. That's not bad. That is fairly compact. What is the biggest they get? 9,500 tons. All right. Yeah, this is not a bad design. All right. Let's see. Targeting tower there. Yeah, let's put that there. Okay, funnels, crane funnel. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Main guns, centerline guns. Quadruple 8-inch guns on the fore and aft. That is more than what a cruiser should have. Speed, 30 knots. 30 knots is going to be fine. Yes, that'll be more than fine. Can I do gas turbines? Hell yeah. All right. Yes. Yes. No coal. Feeding coal into a gas turbine, probably not a good idea. Not saying don't do it, but I wouldn't. Torpedo tubes. Do I have any room? Not really. Secondary guns. Let's do 5-inch, because that seems normal. Okay. That's about all that fits. That is a okay boat. What about smaller gun mounts? Just for torpedo boat stuff. Well, I mean, not really torpedo boats anymore, but you know what I mean. All right, this is not a great ship. This is just a tribute. We're going to put modern armor on it, and we're going to put this, and and we're going to do that, and there we go, and some of that, and these should be fine. Not a great ship, again, but good enough. Tube powder, cap ballistic, and then better shells. And then let's just do this. Let's say 6-inch main belt, 4-inch fore, 4-inch aft, 4-inch main deck, 4-inch fore deck, 4-inch aft deck. See, I brought the roll down, which is where you needed. 12-inch conning tower, 2-inch superstructure, and then there we go. I'm gonna give this thing ridiculous armor for a cruiser. At least for the size it is. I want this thing to be absolutely heinously tough for its size. There we go. Good. All right, yes, and I'm going to call this the Fardo class. Very good name for it. What if I went to a diesel? Would that make that? No. All right. Just wanted to check something. See if maybe that'll make it better or worse. I don't know. She seems pretty good, though the cost is prohibitively expensive, probably because of the gas turbines. So, whatever. Fardo class, she'll do. $500 million of cruiser. I've got the money, so I don't care. We're going to build, I'd say probably 20 of these things, because we built 10 of the last one. And I should probably build, yeah, that'll do. Because 10 of these are almost 100,000 deadweight tons, and 20 of these will be like 180,000-ish. So, yeah, it'll be more than enough. They're cheaper than the Grand Tomas by a lot, so good enough. We're going to build 20 of these, and we're going to build them at, let's see, where should Fardo be made? I'm going to put Fardo in Odessa. Fardo will be fine. Yep, there we go. We still have a positive monthly balance, and we still have some room left, so it's not the worst. Naval invasion is proceeding. Next turn, I'm going to take Liverpool. And now they will have to deal with that. They're not going to like it, but fuck them. Then I'm going to take Gibraltar. And then I'm going to take Majorca, or the Balearic Islands. And then I'm going to take... going to go take Hull and Sunderland as well. I'm going to cut England in half. I'm going to give it an Austro-Hungarian belt. That'll show them. I'm going to just keep sinking their shit as well, because that makes me happy. There we go. No, you cannot have Fardo-class cruisers. They're for me now. That's what they're for. They're for me, not you. All right, where's that? Oh, there's my last battleship. He struggled behind because he was under repair. It's okay. What are my odds on Gibraltar? Very good. Oh, and look, I control Liverpool. Excellent. So now that I have that, I think the English ought to get with a program and understand that I'm very serious. Looks like we're going to have a cruiser fight next time. Next time we're going to have a cruiser fight, which is fine because these things are done now. So I'm going to move these things out into the water. And it looks like my other ones are in Novosibirsk. So I'm going to take these guys and I'm going to move them down. I'm going to command them to go absolutely bully the British there. And I think next time around, we'll see how this kicks off. We're going to have an actual pretty big war. And we will hopefully have better ships as well to play with next time around. So we're gonna start getting into some really crazy technology and in-game stuff.
Some folks are born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, the red, white, and green. And when the band plays Kaiser hymn, ooh, they draft you for the war machine. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't Prince Ferdinand's son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no aristocratic one, no. Some folks are born with 6 fingers on their hand. Lord, don't they make their cousins mad. But when their army parades across the land, Lord, it sounds like the yards of Babel, yeah. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no Habsburg son, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no Kaiserin son, no. Oh, sorry, I don't speak German. I don't understand. Oh, that's Hungarian? Oh. Some folks inherit medieval powers here. Ooh, they send you down to war, Lord. And when you ask them, hey, what was that you said? Ooh, they only answer, Vilmer, man. It ain't me, It ain't me. I ain't no Hungarian son, Lord. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't Prince Ferdinand's son, Lord. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no Kaiser's son, no, no. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no Habsburgian one.